I'll try to import you again. So, oh wait, hold on. Yeah. Okay. I'm still missing a character, I think. It's thinking really hard, getting character data, which is way longer. Oh, it's working. Yeah, it was just buggy. Cool. Renos, we don't have a picture for you, and then Finis, we don't have a picture for them, but we'll work on that. I know you told me, but I just haven't finished. So that's a follow-up thing. But boom, your owner. I'm missing someone, guys. Help me figure this out.
You're missing.
Well, how many are you guys? There's only 5, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking 6. Okay. Ignore me. Beautiful. I got all 5 of you guys. Awesome. And I have 4 of you here, so it all works. Beautiful. I have the 3 of the 4 logged in because one of them is running late. Perfect. That checks out. Okay, guys. I think we're good and ready. Yep. All right. So, welcome to Mondays. I don't have a name for you guys yet. You don't have a name for you guys yet, but we will discover that together, and together we will come up with new memories and new stories wherever it is you entail. Now, what we're looking at, you guys should all be able to see the world here before you, correct? Or the region.
Yes.
Anyone can't see a map or screen other than they who are watching the stream?
I can try to log in on my phone to watch the stream.
Yeah, it's up. So I think after the minute buffers, you should be able to pull it. Just so you have a visual reference. So this is Leva. Leva is one of 4 regions throughout Edia. Here, there are 3 continents. The north one is called Lesperia. The west is called Zeroshi. And the east is called Van Qui. But before I tell you more about the wonderful world in which you guys will reside across and venture forth into, let us learn a little freehand backstory on some of you. We'll begin with how my Discord is arranged on your guys' thingamajiggies, and that makes Roly first. Please introduce your character name, introduce what you're most excited for about them, and then introduce them as them.
Okay. My character is Reno Sayer. I'm still trying to workshop that, but Reno Sayer, I believe, Starwalker. He is an elf. Average height, stature, and a mage or a wizard. And his raison d'etre is to kind of he's hungry for knowledge, and he kind of wants whatever is going to get him knowledge or items to obtain more knowledge or other magical knowledge. So he's just knowledge crazy. Yeah. So then you said introduce the character as the character?
Yeah, like basically before I plop you into your newfound home, what were you most recently doing? Like, if you were talking to someone next to you going for a walk and you were like, yeah, I once stabbed an orphan for fun and I didn't leave them there to die. I took them to get some help and then I kicked them after. Really wanted to lean into the wounds. Not my proudest moments, but I've done a few things here and there. Or rumors that you think someone might have said about you. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll work on some of the voice or whatnot, but let's see here. Most recently, I've been traveling with my companion or friend. Actually, not friend. I should really say, what's a good word, Rascal?
It could be companion. I mean, companion, sidekick.
Yeah.
Anything like
My symbiotic relationship friend, Rascal. And I'm just looking for things that'll pique my interest, and whenever I see something, we're just gonna go after it to the best we can, as long as we're coming out alive.
Your perspective of Rascal. If he leads you down the wrong path 3 times, on the fourth, would you trust him?
No. And we will part ways if things become inconvenient.
Got it. All right. Beautiful stuff.
But
Go ahead.
relationships grow. Who knows?
At the moment, I'll put ATM next to that one. All right.
Yeah.
With that, we have, I believe, Big G.
Hello. Well,
Oh, you know, it's probably me. Let me lower my second monitor. My bad. I can't hear it with the headset on. Thank you. Just saw your thing.
oh, sorry. I didn't know it was like no. So, my name is Big G. You know, people just assume that I'm big. And he kind of stands around, let's say 8 foot. You know, let's say bugbear, long arms, long. Very big in general. Carrying a gray axe, and he was originally raised by giants that kind of view him as a pet. And as he kind of grew up, he became kind of, he can kind of rival the giant's strength. So they kind of put some respect in his name and treat him as like, like a little friend. So they call him Little G, little guy. And then he kind of went out into the world and joined some mafia gang, and people gave him the name Big G, because he's big. And then one day he kind of stumbled upon the cleric of this party, Sigurd. Sigurd?
Sigurd.
Sigurd. Okay. And he kind of just, follow his footstep and kind of turn good now. He's still kind of dumb, but he's trying to learn new things, trying to be smarter, trying to make good decision, although he doesn't really make a lot of good decisions. So, yeah, that's his story.
And your most recent rumor would be what?
Most recent rumor.
I mean, you were used to be a part of a mafia, so I'd imagine someone's speaking about you somewhere.
Yeah. Well, after he left, there's still like some remnants of like the mafias. They're kind of lingering. They're trying to get him back, but they kind of failed, and so they kind of turn violent and try to kill him instead. And any assassin come his way, he kind of just like kill them, and
So you
kind
most
of.
likely have a hit or a mark on you.
Yeah, but it also put a bad name on him because he just killed people without saying why, and like in like tavern on the streets, But like they're usually bad, so he doesn't really look bad because he usually is the one that get attacked, and then he defends himself, but he just killed him without thinking. So yeah.
All right, an aggressive man that you have like not on the loose, but almost on the loose all at the same time. Very fun. With Big G done, that brings us to Sigurd.
Can I ask a quick question about ghost
No,
rolls?
absolutely not. But yes, what? Sorry.
So they're kind of like boar people, right?
Yeah, but basically, boorish in nature. There are some that are like cousins that are more pig-like in visual, more like more hairless or less hair. Just imagine across the races of such, they vary, but the core are boorish usually in
I
nature.
just wanted to make sure before I described him that way. I was
Gotcha.
gonna say he's kind of like a 5 foot tall boar man. Got taken in by Thor's followers and kind of given an early life at a temple. He spent almost no time socializing, and just learned magic and fighting because he wants to be a hero. He's a little naive at times. and wants to see the best in everything.
What is for you? I know you have barely picked up this race, but just swing with it. What is one memorable moment below surface that you know will never be replicated above?
Probably the memories with family, I guess.
Okay.
Just kind of like general positive memories. Since he's left, it's not been that great, I'm assuming.
You got it. You got it. All right, cool. Just taking down notes, so trying to write as fast and neat as possible. All right. Your most recent rumor before you ended up with this group.
Can you describe what that means? Like, what do you mean?
Your own self-proclaimed rumor. What is something you've told everyone about yourself that you stick by, or you have heard about yourself that I will play with? You decide. It's your own rumor.
He's he's good meaning, but he has a very creepy smile.
Right. Everyone that knows you in the past refers to the man with the grin. Got it? Creepy smile. With that brings us to our next welcome. Never late, always on time. I don't know your character name off the top, so give me a second to find it. The one that's not... It's Phineas, right? I'm not sure if you can just listen or if you can talk.
That's correct.
Are you available to talk, or are you just listening in right now?
So I'm available to talk.
Oh, perfect. Go ahead and introduce a bit about your character. Its name for starters, describe yourself, and then your most recent endeavors.
All right. So I guess the best way to describe Phineas is say he's about 7 foot tall, and lanky, real like skinny and lanky. Like he has got that patchwork cerulean blue skin that works all the way around his body, with the pale patchwork, like almost translucent like skin that covers his jaw. He wears like a leather patchwork cloak. You could tell that it's been cared for, even though it's seen much use, a lot of use. You can tell it's been repaired meticulously multiple times. Um, Phineas is always walking around with some sort of tool or a bag of nuts and bolts hanging off his waist. He's always tinkering on something. As far as a rumor goes, the most recent rumor about Phineas would be on his way to where we are currently. He defended a merchant caravan from a horde of hobgoblins single-handedly.
Single-handedly, as in no spells casted, or single-handedly, as in just alone?
Single-handedly, as in he kept them at bay while the merchants were able to make it to the next town.
Gotcha. You know, fun thing about being single-handedly, and ironically, you're not a wizard in this case, but I had another player back 3 years ago introduce a character like this, and he swore that he fought off 12 men while he was protecting a cart all on his own. And then when the team arrived to meet him, no one was there and there was no proof of it. But everyone believed it till the very end of the campaign because he always passed the persuasion or the deceiving or whatever it was. And we'll never know whether or not he truly defeated 12 men, level 1 mage, all on his own. But we all wonder to this day. We'll do the same for you, Phineas. Thank you. All right, that brings us to Rascal.
Sorry, I had push to talk. So Rascal, he is, well, name's Rascal. tries to go by Butterpaws, but he's roughly 4.5 feet tall. Average raccoon, black and white. He's semi chunky. Sometimes you see those like fat cats. He kind of looks like that, but as a raccoon. He's a rogue ranger, and what he used to and still does is trying to steal from people underneath their noses, pretty much like right then and there without them hoping to notice. One of them was with Rolly, but sadly Rolly caught him,
Reno.
and they've been, working together longest time for a while. The way what Bandit gets out of it, or not Bandit, what Rascal gets out of it is his payments is pretty much whatever he can steal that he also thinks he would like for himself while trying to help Rolly obtain what he wants from it as well.
Okay.
One of the rumors Rascal tells is he prefers or he doesn't prefer, his nickname is Butterpaws, is because he always fails to steal from wagons or passerbyers on roads or whomever he tries to steal or sneak shit from.
So he's a poor
But
thief.
so he says, but Rolly knows that is pretty much a lie. So every time Rolly's around and he tells that rumor, it's soft chuckles or snickers
Insight.
or
Gotcha.
yeah, something to try to throw the lie out.
You got it. So, as you guys all described yourselves and shared with each other your minor histories and brief rumors, I'm going to describe the three continents here before you. And with that, I want you to slowly imagine whether or not you would find your character being of place there. Today it will not overall matter, but it will be something you will be adding to your backstory that you will have to concrete within the next 5 sessions. And you will be able to ask as many questions as you want after session, but I will give you the quick insight version present now. Starting from the north is Lesperia, the motherland of pretty much any and all original decisions here in Leva. Beginning on the far west side, you have the massive, massive tree. Now, it is not labeled because though everyone knows of it, no one ever recalls it when they should. However, I will tell you this once now, it is referred to as the Serpent's Soil. This amazing, immaculate tree, the Loxodon, which are elephant-like humanoids, believed to be the prophecy weaver. Within the mists and circlets that rise amongst the tree, following its branches and providing its natural life, also tells the tales and stories of all who will land and pass upon this region. And all of them that at least are purposefully laid out before these Loxodon readers, or loremongers as they go by, claim that in a whiff of like a puff of smoke from a peace pipe comes the image of the exact detail of whom each of you are. Though not necessarily you at this time, at one point or another, whether when you were born, fabricated, poofed, puffed, or presented here from a shipwreck, who knows? You have been added to this infinite timeline. Beyond that, skipping over the 2 small towns, you see in the desert over the high arc, Free Traders Square. This amazing location is known where the roughest have been, and the reason why is because when things get out of hand, they just boop, fall into the chasm. And those who are even braver go down and try to loot them. Only the bravest get back with the stories to tell. But usually they too are afflicted by something that one would call the Wanderer's Stare. None have been known to recover to this state, but we like to imagine that it's still possible. North of that is a massive crater, and when I say massive, consider that the Taxian Academy is probably holding just under 1 million souls, and the last attempt is probably a fifth of that entire academy. Now imagine had that last attempt not been the last attempt, but the first successful attempt, and it were to land anywhere else on this map and hit perhaps a structure. That's how large this comet was coming from the sky. Now, the story goes that a summoner summoned it down to strike down on the man in which stole his love. Fierce in vengeance and iteration so great to push against them, he summoned a comet from the sky. What came with it, no one was prepared for, though. Those are just rumors now, because in the era in which you guys reside is called Recall. Here, no one quite remembers all the details of the grand past unless there's a book around with it. And even worse, only Lisperia holds all the truest history, and even then, it's locked behind a very, very heavy key and many guards in many locations. But there are a few wise ones out there that know quite the history, have been labeled madmen, and have been considered maybe the crazy ones on the street or the hobos along the trading path. But perhaps there's more to their madness than meets the eye. Taxian Academy, for short and sweet sense, is a massive conglomerate of multiracial stigmatization and where all of them come to join an elite military force. Anytime it's called and needed, it arrives. The military training grounds is as explained. They need somewhere to send them. Gaspell's hold is a mystery to you all, no matter where you reign from. You have not yet discovered this location, nor the diamond mines attached, nor the Death Spire. But along and around that weak peak, I will draw a massive cover, or circle. All of this zone, in short, is called the Wilds, which you would see here, the Wilds domain. This is technically the hub of the Wilds, if anyone tried to make business or peace with the most independent nomadic tribe-like setting. There are many races that benefit from many different species and creatures that run around here. Do not be fooled. Though you might see only mountains on this overhead map, there are plenty of forests and other unique surprises. It is the lack of discovery in which why little resides in this zone for your visual pleasure. Far south is a mystery in which no one has dared yet venture toward. Further to the east, you have two zones, the north and the south of it. The north is the Orcs' domain. They have been there peacefully pretty much since the founding of Lisperia. However, the west has been pushy lately, and conflicts have been arising. South of that is the free city of Clasp. The biggest difference between the Wilds is that they are following a code. They have agreements and deals with Taxian and all of Lisperia's governments. They are the main import-export for the west side, ironically, due to the high mountain cliff walls that make it very difficult for any kind of ships to work on the west side of Lisperia. Here in Clasp, very few opportunities were found, and has very recently been joined by every single campaign that I host. We will see how long everyone resides there, but at this time, that is the hottest hotspot on in this entire region, and that is Lisperia. South of that, immediately being the dominant continent, is going to be Vanquis, and that is the east side. It has the most completion of unlabeled, in detail, rich history if you zoom in. This map is very large. The more you zoom in, the more you realize there is very significant details, covering all sorts of amazing aspects in which have been ventured and experienced throughout the existence of this world. This entire continent is known as the melting pot of decisions. Almost anything that has arrived here has came here by force, banishment, was born here, or somehow stranded due to a very bad shipwreck, sea wreck, air flight go wrong, or however else you fall through portals and appear where you don't belong. The east half of it is the harshest part of this continent. The Hazy Desert, being the massive desert patch, is one of the most ruthless locations anyone will ever set foot in, and it is ran and controlled by 5 separate goblin tribes. Though the largest of them all and the most deadliest, that has no peace or alliance with anyone else there, is the Ronglom. They are vicious, and you usually hear their marching before you see them coming. North of that is a very unique location. It's mixed around, but the very highest frozen peak is called Fairy's Peak. Up there, a grand battle once held. The Goblin King himself was slain there, though reports of a dragon was seen during this fight. Nobody survived. Further south of it, rumors are of very large reptilian-like beasts. They make loud noises, have sharp teeth, and are very powerful, raw creatures of the world. Otherwise, they have never ventured further than the mountain pass. Very south, on the very bottom of this grand continent, you have, now known as the Crow. Here's a small little coastal city that once had a great start, until the Goblin King himself came all the way down here and destroyed it. It wasn't the only thing he destroyed, but it was the last thing he destroyed before somebody finally cared to go and face the Goblin King themselves. It was a long journey and very taxing, but along that route, following this beautiful little checkered line to the east coast, just beneath this big cloud, there's a beautiful little tavern. 5 miles in, though the sign says it's west, it's really east, and everyone sees the beaten path going the right way, though the sign has never been updated for some reason. The Jolly Roger Tavern. Here is a beautiful conglomerate of what can happen when players on the second session of any campaign let 2 kobolds live instead of murdering them point blank. They got property. They kicked out the hobgoblins, and they remodeled this place 4 times. They also had many, many grand adventures here. Here, anyone who sits down and takes a drink immediately becomes a retainer to the Jolly Roger. It is written in the contract and in every purchase of beer and or other swag products. They also have a circus on standby, a church called the Chosen, and an attorney field in which tournaments are held. There is a hidden dock in which is rumored to be operational for smuggling and other business matters, but it has never been proven nor found. Far to the east from there, and I say far because, I mean, it's probably 64 miles, but 64 miles on foot is a very far walk, and there's a chasm in the way, so technically you'd have to go around. But here is a place only known as the Quiet Sigil. And we'll leave it at that. There's a fire constantly burning at this part of the forest of, I haven't had to say this forest's name in forever, and I just forgot what it's called. Something with a shadow in it, I promise. There is a still being in which has been seen 3 times and never defeated. It has taken many lives and a few players to date. The fire burning here is a particular location in which was casted upon yet again another group of parting adventurers. Everyone knows of this story because it was a mad wizard who only got crazier the older he became, known by the name Alistar. He did not trust in trees, as a tree tried to talk to him 1 too many times across 50 plus sessions, and it drove him to the point in which he had to burn the next one that tried. It only turned out to be a fairy in his ear, but lessons were learned, and with that, a reminder was left. The ever-burning fields of these trees constantly give off soot and ash and displeasantries to any that pass, and very oftenly confuses people in where they entered and where they exit, making the forest ahead one of the scariest places when you enter from this side. Beyond that is a massive field of wheat. Those who have traveled through it have never told you how to get through, because those who have usually end up back on the same side. However, one journeying group successfully navigated this place so many times that they got a reputation and are now being manhunted because they sold 16 wagon wheels throughout their existence of the local neighborhood. And every time they broke their cart, they came here to steal their carts. And we are still on the look for them to this day. Right north of that is the Wishing Bone, a nice little place in which is often taken by bandits for hostage situations because it is constantly a free trading post. Nobody has any guards because it's just too expensive, and they never learn. But there it is. Following that path all the way up, there is a keep in which no one's ever visited to this date, and a crossing that has never been passed for the past 4 years of my existence in this world. and the other major city, known here as the Hollow, one of the most largest concentrated places here in Vanquis. It is ran by 7 different districts on a council, and on the outside, just hoodlumisms. Nothing but bad energy and everything you could think of all in one place. On top of that, the Lisperians have a trading port here. They do not allow any kind of magical import and export as it is completely on lockdown and controlled. However, there are 4 docks. I'm sure one of them can accommodate. And that's it for Vanquis. To the far west, we have Zeroshi. This is a place that has seen the least amount of discovery since the break. Rumor has it, this was the connector of what was a Pangea. Though no proof has ever been found, there is enough in the sense of resonating landmarks that could tell this tale. Here is the first part of it. On this particular massive landmass, we'll call it California. Just kidding. It's Zeroshi. There are massive, massive obelisks. No one knows what erupted them. All we do know is that anything and everything nearby is awesome, absolutely powerful, has the coolest fucking shit to find, but kills people in almost a hit every single time. Otherwise, it is only rumored to be the biggest death trap of all adventurers. The only known survived entry route has been from this entry, the Lonely Beach. Those who have tried down here have never found a way safely to scale up. The entire west side is cliffed. This midsection is cliffed. There's a little canal that goes between it, breaking it off technically, though there is natural growth between them, connecting it and keeping it an entire continent. And nothing but mystery resides here. Though everybody and anybody that's a magic caster knows that this X, or somewhere around this X, is where the ancient spire still resides. A very advanced and capable academy. You can only be invited, and the last people who ever were there attended it in the era before recall. And that is the region of Leva. As a party, begin to blast each other's ears with your voices to become familiar and talk about all the things you're excited for as you guys begin to discuss what makes the most sense and where you guys all wish to begin. On a difficulty aspect, anything here, I'll mark. Anything with the arrow up is high intensity. Anything with an arrow down is trivial, and anything with a lateral arrow back and left and right is influenced by your actions with relation. Anything with more than one up or down arrow tells you how intense it is. Otherwise, questions, comments? Anyone like to just share where they think they're from or wanted to be from or think is awesome?
I think it probably makes sense for my character to come from the one to the east. I forget the name already.
You guys can use a little marker pen if you're in Foundry by going to the little pencil and going to the freehand or circle if circles and shapes work for you better. And you can just drop them on there and that'll help me re-identify it as I clean up all of my other markings and leave just my arrows.
I made a
I think
circle
I think
thing.
my character would be from like any foresty area that has like common pathways for travel.
Okay. I'll give you some options. None of this has to be permanent now, but just an idea of the world in which you guys exist, and depending on where you guys come from, depends on how much you can share with each other on on religion practices or, cultures, etc., etc. And again, you guys can always change this up, etc., within the next 5 sessions, but really just giving you a strong sense of the world you're in.
Yeah, I think my character would have come from the Taxian Academy. just because of the nature, supposedly, kind of like a prodigy professor assistant, possibly. I don't know if that's okay with UDM, but
Whatever you say.
so that's where I was thinking. But then I'm also interested in this world tree, and the spire does come out to be very intriguing as well.
Okay, we'll jot those on as 3 ideas. No worries. I can give you common knowledge between the 3. I'll go down the list and you guys tell me. We'll do that. You guys tell me your top 3 ideals, and then I can, throughout the session as we go, I'll provide you guys, little snippets of what you would already pick up or know and talk on, etc. And we'll go to Rascal. You were talking about foresty, etc. That has common pathways, is known for travel, that kind of thing.
Anything like that, or like, any like pathway or whatever would be good for trying to be a bandit and stealing stuff. Pretty much any path that's would be like close to Rulies. Anything, just a
Gotcha.
way for us to somehow bump into each other.
For sure. Big G. All right, Big G. You absolutely come from there. Now, I do want to drop some fun stuff that's meta that no one else but Big G knows, but I want you guys all to be aware of. I'm going to give Big G a background document for future sessions that they'll know more on. But in a general sense, everything they say is legit. There are dinosaurs. There are massive birds. There are serpents that aren't even serpents that'll serpent you. There are frozen people in the water that if you bring one back to life, they sometimes are friendly, and they are not dragonborn, even though they look like a dragonborn and they say they're really a human, which isn't true because they can't prove it, but they're really a dragonborn that was under an iceberg. Who knows? But that's true too. And there's all kinds of really messed up things there. But there's one big rumor that I will tell everybody that they understand of, is that there is a thing called the Dead Sea Pirates, and they are only found in that inland area. And it is a rumor everyone knows about. And later down the line, it will come as it will. You guys may or may not understand why, but point is, Dead.
Where are you pointing? Sorry,
Say it again.
where were you pointing? Is it where Big G
Big
is?
G is, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
There's some particular hallmarks.
Do we know?
Go ahead.
Do we know what that area is called again, or no?
So technically, you guys would not. Big G would, but it's also a secret.
Okay. It's called
Ferry's
Dragon
Peak
World.
is the massive mountain in which is adjacent to it. But what were you saying? Sorry, Big G.
Sorry, I said Jurassic World.
Yeah, in a sense. So yeah, that's Big G's. Nice. I like it. I like it. Sigurd. Nope, I just forgot it again. Fudge, what is it called? I cannot remember the name of that forest. The whole history is in the name, and I just dropped it. Anyways.
Fire Shadow. Just kidding.
I don't know. It's something super dumb and easy. It's real like basic, but it is about that dumb creature that happened. Okay, Sigurd. Let me look at your thing real quick. That actually works for you. You have cousins in the Hollow you've never met. You are a 7th cousin or descendant, that might change when I write it, of Hamilton Fullbelly. And we'll figure that out in the long run where you actually are from here, but that's what you would know for sure. Hamilton Fullbelly descendant, and you kind of swing the name because there's no such thing as IDs in this world. So if you just say you are who you are and you look the race, it's usually easy to sneak by if someone doesn't know it well enough. But throwing that out there to you.
So
Phineas,
people of my
go ahead.
race would generally like me.
People of your race would absolutely know if you're a descendant of Hamilton Fullbelly. But people not of your race that know his name or even refer to you guys and mention Hamilton and or the Fullbelly name you know, maybe that's an opportunity to lean or to gleam or etc. You know, if it ever comes up. Basically, if you
Got
hear
it.
the term of such, you would be able to nudge into favor of maybe even knowing something at that time. You might even know what I'm saying, and I'll say you would know this kind of thing. But your race is rare enough on the surface that people don't know what it is, so it's very rare for people to say, "Oh, there's a goose roll there." Like it's more like, "Oh, there's a boar man," or "Oh, there's a wereboar." You know, like you know, it's very common to see werebeings and things of. There are other creatures in which you may be close to resemble, like due to your rarity, that you will always be misunderstood in that sense. Like no one, it's very rare for people to actually know your race.
Okay.
At least here in the Hollow, there's a high chance that someone's going to guess what you are, but not know until you admit it because it's not, you know, like again, there's so many races that could resemble what you are. But to be a Guzrul in the Hollow is much more common. That's like probably the safest place to be yourself.
Okay. I think I'll choose to be from the Hollow then.
Okay. With that, you would know of a goblin DJ named Rolly. He's very famous and a badass, and it's not this Rolly. It's another Rolly known as Rolly Goblicon. Um,
I love
come
the last
on.
name.
He is our Hollow member, and he is an actual DJ in the game, and he does DJ live in the session usually, and he is basically one of the 5 heads of one of the current running districts of the Seven and Hollow. So I'll give you more details on them a little later. Otherwise, Phineas. You are muted, sir, but when you are unmuted, do share in which you'd like to begin, or general ideas.
Okay, so I've actually kind of was starting to work on it a little bit now. But
Mhm.
Phineas was born to a well-off family named the Jerbelgums. He was so I'm not really sure quite like where this would best fit, but uh, basically, he grew up in on a luscious, fertile, and vibrant vineyard of all sorts of different colors. Uh, there was never a lack of scenery growing up. Uh, however, growing up on the vineyard and growing up two adventurers, Phineas was raised mainly by nannies or caregivers, and this led to Phineas having a bit of uh, what would the word be? A social complex, I guess. So
Mhm.
he doesn't socialize very well with others.
Gotcha. So, if you're interested, no one to this day has ever been from, stepped foot in, or has spoken of this history and stories within the very, very, very secluded city, Bramau. And you would fit really well because you're an artificer, and Bramau is heavily based on steampunk, Warforge, and breaking the 5th rule. Which, by the way, guys, the 5th rule of all of Edia and this and Leva specifically that the Lisperians have put into place in Lisperia specifically because they don't control any other continent is a ban on Warforge. Any Warforge existing has a predate timestamp. There's a way to tell. There's a magic spell that will tell you how old a Warforge is, and if it is after the instinct, then there's like serious crimes. But Bramel and all of those Warforge creators from Lesperia said, "Fuck this," left and created a very, very private, very, very, very high end community here, in which way the city doesn't show itself because I don't want to spoil anything, but I can now offer it to you guys if your good sir would like to be from there. You'll have the
Yes,
benefits of your rich, rich family and beautiful, beautiful knowledge of what it is that could be quite intriguing across the board.
that actually sounds pretty great. Just because specifically, I wanted to kind of like, and when I told you for my backstory, not necessarily like the founders, but like protectors of like the city, and that would be a good way, especially with the Warforged and Artificers, uh, to kind of you know being
Introduce it.
underneath the light scope, but
Yeah,
yet still yes.
I like it. Sweet. All right, so we have a general understanding. Those of us who have not settled on anything just yet will have plenty of time to go through it, but I'll give you guys a little taste of everything that we discussed across that. And with it, I will begin with a little twist. You guys voted on a 50-50, so I'm putting them together. If you guys recall what I'm referring to, it was your guys' opener. Echoes of the Past and The Waking Curse were the two that came in even. And with that beautiful generosity, you see, one sec, nothing actual visual. I was looking at something for you guys. I saw it, now I forgot. You hear, wherever you all are, you guys can decide that in your own minds, whether you do or don't ever share it. But at this moment, you guys are all in your own space with your companions. If you're hanging out with Rascal and, what is it, Reno and Rascal hanging out, and Sigard and Big G making a meal, and Phineas just hanging out on the monkey bars at the park. I don't know. But overall, as you guys are all doing your own thing, it begins with the Waking Curse. I need all of you to control your character sheets and roll me a wisdom saving throw.
I'm still loading Foundry, but it shouldn't take me too much longer.
Looks like you're already there. Right when you said that, your name popped up. So.
I can't open my character sheet.
That's probably because I didn't set it. Impossible. Did anyone else not get access to the character sheet? Cool. I did pretty good then. Sorry. Now you should have access. Very nice, Big G. Very nice.
What was I rolling for again?
Wisdom.
I got a 14.
All right. 2 14s coming in hot.
Oh, I'm actually missing some ability points on this. I think it loaded the wrong one.
Yeah, I'll just adjust it real quick. It's just the wisdom stat, right?
Yeah, and the con was 18.
Got it. Yeah. There you go. Reno, nice. On a 9, I like it. Sigurd on a 22. We had 2 14s, and then Phineas, once you get the opportunity.
It's just being a little slow. It's first time
it's
loading.
a pretty big map. So once it's loaded in the first time, you should be good afterwards. But this is the biggest map you guys should probably ever experience.
And you said wisdom saving throw, correct?
Yes, sir. Or yeah, save and throw. So Sigurd, you actually have to do a new one. It should be just as good though, so shouldn't be that bad of it.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, I know you're bad. And that's
Oh,
your
it was
punishment.
not as good.
Ta-da!
Oh no.
Yeah. Phineas with a 6. All right. Oh, cool.
It's not one of my proficient saving throws, but I am actually good with wisdom.
Life is as it is sometimes, and here we have Phineas and Rascal. Whatever it is that you guys are doing at this time, you stop. Whether it's something in your hand or thinking on a bubble, you just stop. Something worms into your conceptual space. First, it begins as an inkling. You both feel this small, slow drip. Imagine when you used to do that therapeutic thing as kids because you saw it in I don't remember what movie where you'd like, or maybe it was Jurassic Park when you would do the whole water thing and be like bloop and get like people to try to calm down and things. So you feel that, but like as if someone's dropping just a little bit of water on little parts of your cranium in which it falls into the slits and it feels painful as it's rushing through and running across the different parts in which belong within you. But you're not in pain. But you're thinking, man, that would hurt a lot. Badly. Oh, like it's mental pain. You're not even psychic. You then feel this need to rest, but you're trying to fight this headache that begins to force a migraine and shrink, literally feel like it's shrinking your brain. Though it's not, it feels like it's just been crushed. We'll begin with Phineas, but what are your feelings at this time? You're in no pain, but you're in this, I guess, perilous mental state of pain. I don't know. It's odd. You need to tell me how it feels.
So Phineas would obviously be easy by this, by kind of like on the alert and just scanning the peripheral of the horizon, just see if he sees anything out of the ordinary. And if he doesn't, he's just gonna kind of like focus on that pain and see if he can like recall a time in his career that if he's dealt with anything like this before.
Give me a history check.
Not great.
Nope. Never experienced this in your life. This is new, and you're beginning to panic. Well, you're panicking in silence. Rascal.
Hmm.
How was your experience?
The experience of
Of what I described, that crazy, non-painful pain, headache, migraine, head squishing.
to me, I feel like it'd be normal just because I'm used to being out in the wilderness and occasionally have to sleep under like a rock, and it being the unlucky one. Just whenever it rains, that water just
Drawing the short
drips off on
straw
top of my
again.
head and keeps me awake, or just makes me mentally think of the shit I do.
Gotcha. As you two experience this continuous awake madness of oddities, cigar, something begins to creep over you. As it does, it begins in your spine. But as you feel it and you go to like stretch and crack your back, it's almost as if you're having deja vu, like you've done this before. And as you do, it's like, oh, you've done this too many times before. It's achy. It's as if you've done it all the time and now you're worn out. And then after your back, your arms begin to feel heavier and just not as functional, almost as if you're older. And then you hear your own voice speak to you. This is what we've done. Almost as if it was an echo from the future, speaking to its past. How are you feeling?
Distrustful, but interested in what the voice is speaking of.
You respond anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask it, what is what we've done?
Are you awake now?
What does that mean?
With that, the three of you in which had these amazing harrowing experiences, can you please roll me Constitution saving throws? Well, they're rolling their saves. Big and Reno, the two of you, go about your day. Finish your tasks. Acquire your desired results of satisfaction. Eat a good meal. Do whatever it is you imagine you would be doing on a normal day of your current adventuring livelihood. And you go to bed. When you go to bed, can you both please give me a Constitution saving throw at advantage? Good recover, Phineas.
Who is doing the con save?
The other two now. You already rolled yours.
Gotcha.
6.
Oof. Okay. Dun-dun-dun. Beautiful. Sigurd and Rascal. When I say you guys wake up all together as a team, you will wake up with 1 point of exhaustion. Congratulations. Phineas, you rolled well in your con, but you still went through a bad experience. You can only recover so much. When you begin your next day, the first 5 rolls are at disadvantage. as you stutter on your thoughts and your rebalancing of oneself.
Sounds great.
And Big G, Reno Sayre Starwalker. The two of you wake up inspired. You both begin our campaign with D12s. You may hold on to them forever, I don't care. Or use them, or even give them to someone else when they need it most. It is an inspiration that you can use to interrupt at any time as long as it adds to a roll. Or if you give up a handful, just give them up to make some other kind of evil bargain with the DM. Anytime I give you guys inspiration, it could happen in Discord if I ask you guys to remind me of something, or it could happen here anytime like now. They stack. Inspiration from bards, etc., act as their own pull and do not follow the normal rules of the game. This is an inspiration from the other world beyond and can sometimes save or really not help many people. One guy rolls like a 1 every time he gets one, so he's grown tired of them. He has like 5. So, anyways, you guys have a D12.
How many inspiration? How many?
One
Just
each.
one?
Yeah, you and Big G each have a D12 inspo.
It's only a D12?
And you're saying
Only? Oh, it could be a D6.
I mean, is it just a D12?
Yeah, it's you can add a D12 to anything, to literally anything, or give it to someone to
okay.
at
Cool.
any time you interrupt. All right. With that, let me let you go. It's Sigard who has the exhaustion, right?
Yeah,
Alright.
Sigurd.
Oh, you already did it. Perfect. I was just checking sheets. Beautiful.
I got exhaustion too.
Yeah.
While you're on the sheets, I have the wrong kit. I think I'm supposed to have cook's utensils. I have herbalism kit.
To be honest, it's because I actually just listed it. I didn't put them as auto add items, so you have them.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I was trying to be quick toward the end because I built it like what? When did I tell you? It was like already 4, right?
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
that was the only part I didn't like figure out right away. I was like, I don't know how to auto add items, so I just copied the list so at least it was general knowledge.
I was trying to add it to my inventory right now, but I couldn't
But you
figure
do
out
have
how.
it. Yes, you do have it. And I'll go ahead and add that stuff in a bit for you. Meanwhile, oh, I gotta add some of your tokens on the map because I didn't have them there. Boop, 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 boop. You guys all sleep in a slumber. As you do, each of you begin to hear crickets, odd rustling noises of foots being dragged across what sounds to be dirt, rock, and other senses of soil. And there's also the odd aspect that everything smells different. None of you guys are wherever it is you originally had slept when you chose to. Instead, each of you are in some kind of self-tortured configuration of a tent and or, for one of you, TB. With that, it's a late evening. You also notice, just generally, your internal clock is all out of whack. It's late. It's not daytime. But you've rested long enough. You all wake up. The map's loading. You should have sight shortly.
So the first thing Phineas will do is he's gonna scan the area.
Scanning area protocol activated. Go ahead.
All right.
Are you like asking me for a roll, or do you have a cool item? The way you said it, or do you perceptively? You're an artificer. I have no idea what you're throwing at me.
Let's see here. See if I actually do have anything. No,
You can totally
I'll
perceptive. That's fine.
I'll be using my eyes, and I do have dark vision, so.
Perfect. All right. Go ahead and give me that perception.
Righty.
Just to be clear, did you say that we woke up in an area that we weren't in before when we went to sleep?
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, you guys are at some kind of outpost, and you know it's an outpost due to the amount of structures and the massive wall that you can see in the shadows outstretched all around, in which this small cabinet outpost that you guys are positioned in. You also see that there is 2 fires going off, one specifically around a camp, in which seems oddly and comfortably inviting.
Do we have everything with us?
All of your belongings are with you.
Oh.
The only thing that seems out of place is yourself.
Do I see anybody else at this moment?
You hear people and conversations going, and you only see one other, and it is the, at this time, orc-looking person, but they are a boorish individual. That is Sigard, right across the way. Though you do hear other murmurings happening from here and around, like there's like a an encampment of people present.
I think I would like to sneak up by Sigurd.
Okay, go ahead and give me a stealth check as you do so.
I'm gonna wake up and look around for Rascal, just because I know we're traveling together.
You see them right across the camp from in which your tent is, and he's coming out a bit worse for wear. He looks exhausted, very tired, very worn, almost as if he literally was sandwiched between 2 rocks. Sigard, can you give me perception at disadvantage, please?
So while they're doing that, Rascal, his typical exhausted or tired state, he'll get up on his hind legs, his normal walking, if he's not like just crawling or carrying anything. He stretches and pats his like belly. He's like, ugh, fuck. What happened? I know I get enough food coming, but I don't think I ate that much last night. He'll like stumble out, tired as hell, rubbing his eyes
You
and
see
just like stroking his
Reynolds
like nose
across
and
the way.
whiskers.
You're surrounded by a massive bugbear, a boorish individual, a odd, haphazard mechanism handling folk, and your buddy furthest away, Reno Sara. Sigard, you are startled as you see an individual with one blink, no one, and a second blink, someone within 15 to 20 feet of you, as you now look around and you're surrounded by others. Not everyone looking nearly as confused as you or the raccoon. Big D, or Big G, sorry.
He's gonna move towards Sigard and just kind of pull his weapon out and kind of stand guard, and then he kind of turn around and see Sigard as kind of, in his weakened state, and he asks, "Is Sigard sick?"
Probably not.
Okay.
Reno. What do you do?
He's gonna look around, look for Rascal, kind of shout out to him, or kind of we haven't met these other two. Sorry, I'm just thinking through it, just because we've talked about our backstory so many times that I'm like a little confused. I'm gonna kind of pull out a little bit of something into my hand, not really showing it, and I'm just gonna look at Rascal, and I'm just gonna send him a quick message, and just tell him, "Hey, we are not where we went to sleep last night. We didn't even drink last night. Where are we? And let's group up by the rock over here," and I'll kind of just walk my way over to the wall. Which, am I in a tent? Because it says I'm
Yeah.
colliding with something.
Of course, I stuck you in something. You're always the one that gets stuck. There you go, I fixed you.
This is true.
So
kind
you
of
are now
just walk
out.
to meet up with Rascal.
Okay. Rascal, do you communicate meant to with the benefit of message at all, or do you?
I assume we have like sending stones to each other if we've took
Well,
some
he casts
stuff.
message, meaning you can respond to him with that.
Oh,
spell
I'll
ability.
say like we didn't get separated. It must be our luck of vanishing places together. But yeah, let's meet at the Rock. I don't know any of these people. I didn't drink and I didn't eat that much that I think of. But I would like to know what's going on.
Phineas, you arrive and see what looks to be two pairs, in which half know each other. You being the oddball out. How do you present yourself?
So, Phineas is very. He didn't know he was a paranoid person until he disappeared in the middle of the night. And now he's a very paranoid person. He has no idea where he's at, who these people are, or what they want. So he's going to see if he can't find a small pebble to imbue with magical properties. And
Okay.
I'm going to imbue it with the scent of the worst dung that Phineas has smelt in his entire life. And I will just toss
Right.
it in the group.
You're gonna toss it at what?
In the middle of the group.
Like all of you, or equidistance
Yeah,
between them?
it's just like basically. So what I'm using is magical tinkering.
Yep.
So I'm just giving it a smell, like the
Gotcha.
worst, like
Yep.
dung pie. Yep, and then I'm just kind of like trying to scatter everybody. Is kind of what I'm doing.
Got it. You toss it in the middle. Do you move immediately, Phineas?
No, I will stay still.
You stay still and reap it in. Team Big D and Sigurd, do either of you wish to do a perception or a survival check to see if you withstand it, or do you? Well, technically, I think both of you guys are immune to poisons, but does it disturb you guys?
Does it look like an attack?
Does it have a visual cue, or is it just a sense, a smell, Phineas?
I would see I mean, you would definitely see a rock flying through
But,
the air.
yeah, outside of the rock, it doesn't give off like a stench cloud, right? It just is a really
No,
smelly rock.
yeah, it's just a rock flying through the air.
Got it. The rock flying through the air and stinks. It's a stinking flying rock. Never seen it, never witnessed it, but there it is. And it purposefully lands between all of you, far from any threat, but oddly tossed by the net, you see.
Whoa, that smells pretty gross.
Oh, his jellyfish. Okay. 1 sec, guys. Let me grab my kid's jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
Maybe we should talk over there.
I think jellyfish is more interesting than what's going on right now. That's cool.
So are we gonna have a PvP right now?
I don't think so.
Surprise attack. Just kidding.
Because if anyone attack, he would attack. And he's a barbarian. So.
This is true.
If anyone attacks me, I'm going animal mode.
You know, I'm not super squishy, but I didn't live 270 years by, just walking out and fighting everything.
Should we continue, or do you guys want to wait for him? Just curious.
I'm cool with continuing.
I mean, this is. I did that just for more like the RP stuff. So
Yeah, I figured this is pretty much an RP situation for a while. So
Yeah, I'm gonna say, Big G, let's talk over here. This guy's throwing smelly pebbles.
Okay.
I'm gonna, seeing him throw smelly pebbles, I'm gonna just post myself up by this wall and kind of just cross my arms and just look at you guys and see what you guys are doing.
I'll be standing right next to Reno and just like heavy breathe, just trying to get the smell of it to figure out what the smell is supposed to be. But I'm just chilling with him, just waiting for us to figure out what's all going on, who we're with, how we got here, what happened, or like what's the situation going. Because Rascal used to being picked up and tossed somewhere without him knowing and just waking up in the blue, but it being with somebody he knows and new people around, especially with everyone having their gear, this is different to him.
I'm gonna say Sigurd's pretty put off by it, but not showing it outwardly. But he's pretty freaked out.
Well, Big G doesn't really care. He just kind of look at Phineas, and then he's gonna kind of yell out and says, "Hey, you stinky person, who are you?"
Alrighty. So Phineas look kind of like it's almost what is it I'm thinking of? If you've ever seen like it's that horror movie where that like long tall, it almost looks like a nightmarish version of a dark elf, but it's
Donnie
where he's
Darko?
crouched. He stands up and he's like 10 feet tall or whatever, but as he's crouched, it looks like he's only like 3 or 4 feet.
Babadook? I don't know.
I
It
don't
sounds
know
spooky.
either.
I like it though.
Wait, does he respond, or are you kind of just like,
I mean, Babadook is a good lookalike.
Hmm.
But yeah, basically he stands up like uh are any of you familiar with Critical Role at all?
I mean, sort
Yeah.
of.
I know the
You
name.
Yeah.
of Campaign 3.
not really?
Okay. So the best way to describe it is it's like a spider standing up. The legs are kind of bowed, but as he stands up, it's just this tall, lanky figure.
Okay.
So
Got it.
you look like Babadook, is that correct? So I could just Google it.
It's similar to Babadook, correct, except for blue
Okay.
skin.
Got it. Still creepy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Even leprechaun base vibes. So
Oof, that's really creepy. Anyways,
what are you guys doing amongst this camp? As you see that there are guards, they are doing their job being guards. Some of them are talking amongst themselves. They notice you, they waver and gesture, but none of them say hi, none of them say come here. But if you wish to interact with them, you are free to.
Yeah, Big G is gonna yell at the Garen that's right next to him and says, "Little human, where are we?"
Oh, I think he's talking to you, man. Huh. Hey! Hello down there. I didn't quite hear your question.
How tall is this stand?
It's probably about 15 feet.
Okay, he can probably reach the top of it.
Yeah, you could probably like tippy toe hold.
Yeah, he's gonna like poke his head out and says, "Yeah, it's me, Big
Hey,
G, um,
big indeed.
G."
G,
Anyway,
yeah, big G. Yeah, big G indeed.
oh, uh, who are you?
I'm just a guard. They call me Phil. That's Brett.
Hey, Phil and Brett.
Hey, hi.
Where are we?
The outpost.
And he kind of look at Cigar and be like, "Which outpost?"
I mean, you've been to. I mean, I only been to the one.
Do we know which
I have
outpost
no
is?
clue. Yeah, no clue.
Okay. So he's gonna like, um, so are we guarding something or?
We are. Oh, that would make some sense. How about you head back to the little campfire right there, and we're gonna. You see the Brett. He goes and gathers like a little horn. He's like, and it has this like loud announcement, and then you guys look around and you realize there's a massive harpoon pointing at what looks to be the entry point here. And beyond that, there's a full-on little workshop going on, and this door begins to rattle like someone's either unlocking something and or making their way toward it, and just hefty in size and away. And as the door gets kicked right open, you see a larger fellow, kind of, I wouldn't say overly like round, but he has like this melted Sunday like vibe going for him. And it's mostly his clothes. They just give a lot of riffles. Otherwise, he is a single bodied, but his shape is really unknown due to how much shit he's wearing. But that alone seems to go along with his slow movements and heftiness. But his breath is heavy, and he just is like, ah, ah. You're all awake. Sit down. Sit down. I'm coming. As he's making his way, do you guys say anything amongst each other before he is in earshot?
You said there was a workshop, correct?
There's like a little outside workbench with an anvil, tools, a couple, miscellaneous
see.
things, a piston for the fire.
I'll whisper to Rascal. Depending on how this goes, we might have to team up with these strangers to fight our way out. And I'll tell him also to scan for any exits if we need to ever escape.
On top of it already, you know me. I'm looking for exits, things to steal, things to kill. I'm the job. And he's just scanning. He'll occasionally like try to climb up on top of things to get views like up above or like kind of higher ground for things he can't see over or past.
Okay.
So he's kind of just skittering around the camp, just climbing
Give me
on things,
perception.
going through stuff.
Let's start with the perception as you go to scope around. The rest of you guys, anything you guys are doing?
Phineas is just hanging out over in the corner here.
I'm probably just Sigurd's talking to Big G about we should probably keep our cards a little close to our chest in this situation, but still do what's right.
So no killing?
Probably shouldn't go out of our way to murder people, no.
What if they attack us?
That's fine.
Okay.
We might have
You
to
guys?
work with these people.
I don't like stinky person.
14.
Sometimes we just gotta roll with
Thank you.
people's character, you know? Some people throw stinky rocks.
And he's ugly too.
I'll kind of look towards oh man, what's your character? Big G and Sigurd, and if they make eye contact with me, I'll just kind of give them a nod of recognizing kind of respect, but also a potential camaraderie if need be.
Okay. You guys hear? He hits some of the stone, really half-fast drop stone pathway, and you can see his weight alone is just besting them, moving them further and shifting what it is that's loose beneath it. He's like, oh, damn, those damns. You're a kind-looking fella, he says to Phineas as he walks by. Yeah. Ah. Oh.
It's Jabba the Hutt.
He just sits
That's what
down
I
and
was
you just
thinking.
see the trunk kind of crack. Hi. Hey. Howdy. Wonderful. I really don't know what or why any of you are here. But I do know I am Margot. Was told that I must protect this land until you awake. At first there was nothing here, and then tents appeared. Slowly, one by one, bodies. And then you all woke. God, it's been so long.
You said it's been so long and that you've been expecting us. How long have you been here?
That requires me to jog this memory for a second. What were we talking about? Sorry about that. I sneezed. Threw the idea right out of my head.
Why are we
See.
here?
I was hoping one of you, though it doesn't seem like any of you have any brains of the operation. I don't know. Well, I know very little. I don't know why any of you are here. No, I don't know, but I've been here long enough to hear the whispers of each of you. You all look and you're a bit skinnier. Otherwise, it feels like I've been dreaming about you all, like it's a deja vu or something. We were just told to protect your bodies. Sometime you'd appear, we would never see it happen. Almost every single time one of you walked in, at least that's what we think happened, the gates were always wide open and we'd all be put asleep. And you'd be here. We just did what we had to do. Guard you.
That makes sense.
Man's duty. This damn outpost. They lied to me and said that they had decommissioned it. If only that were true.
So you're saying you were protecting something? Like what?
A lot of you, I guess. They said whatever comes out of these tents.
Okay.
What exactly are you protecting us from?
Ah, you see, the world is dangerous and all, and as old and as wise as you all seem to be, except this one here, and he points at Reno. You all should grasp that there's a lot of dangers: wolves, hyenas, monstrosities, sludges, slimes, coffee elementals. Those ones. I like them, but they're a curse at the same time. Good times.
Hey, those first three you named off, ain't monsters. First of all, I've had friends of each one. You talk to them right, you do things right for them. They're
They eat all the
perfectly fine.
same, don't they?
I mean, I do too. Am I a monster? I think I'm a perfect human being. But
If we were here
besides the
lying
point,
dead, you'd eat us.
uh, it's a 50-50. Depends how dead I am. But you
That's a
ain't wrong
pretty
with me.
hefty opportunity. You would take a bite of me. Proving my point.
Yeah, you do look kind of chewy. I mean, there's
He
that.
shrugs, and as he shrugs, you see like waves. Almost like ripples.
Sigurd wants to
No.
make a comment, but it might come off as mean.
Do it. It's how Sigurd wants to say it.
Man, this man has quite a gravity when he's speaking. I'm feeling very pulled in by his words.
Oh.
You should see me when I'm performing. That's when I really draw them in.
Oh, you perform, do ya?
Often enough. My services require it. He smiles.
I would like to see that perhaps sometime.
You see out of nowhere. You think, you're not quite sure, maybe it's a foot beneath there? Kick up one of the plates of food here, and you see breadsticks fly. and then another foot that you don't see somewhere underneath all of the garments that he's wearing that are draped all around. Kick up another piece of something, and you see like what looks to be probably dirt, but really it's spices, and it sprinkles onto the breadsticks, and then he puts his hand out, and they all stack boop, boop, like a little pyramid 2 by 1. I don't consider myself proficiently well versed to feeding myself in unique mannerisms. As he takes a bite out of all 3 at the same time.
Phineas is amazed at what he just saw, and he has now complete trust in this fellow.
He smiles with a full-on carb-loaded mauve, just bread.
Rascal looks at him and just, hey, we teleported here. You don't know where we came from. You don't know how long we haven't eaten. Yet here you are, shoving your face full of bread days and not willing
Yes.
to share. Some of us, and Rascal rubs his like chubby belly, are hungry too.
This has been late in your honor. I'm just enjoying what I thought you had already touched. And he continues. It's literally,
We
there's
have
plenty
been
of like
trying
bowls,
to
and there's like a
figure
pot
out
with food.
where we are, who we are, what
Don't
got
let
us.
that ruin your appetite. I believe a full belly makes a full mind.
I mean, sometimes, but when you're here with strangers, that's kind of more important than food and in the moment.
Respectfully so, look at these men. They've all been protecting you all for purposes we have no loyalty to, I assure you, friend. If only I could bellow out to the trees not to bother with such inconsiderate fellows who would arrive mysteriously in the woods for some unforbidden reason in which I myself have not been privileged to. And yet a meal is provided. Generosity is in order, I think.
When you put it that way, I'll take the food.
There's like bowl. There's it's a self serve, but there's soup and what looks to be quite meaty in it. Different cuts of all sorts of animals in the forest and woods. No raccoon, no bugbear, no boar in general, and also no goose and no humanoid in the sense of Phineas or mechanical parts. Otherwise, looks to be a juicy looking, fatty, meaty, fulfilling stew.
As he pointed out some of the guards, how well armed do they look? Do they look like they're ready for like an all-out war to break out, or is this just like some late night security job guarding the mall?
It ranges from late night to seen a few nights. And when I say see a few nights, I mean they got like battered clubs, like they've been seeing some usage. Not everyone looks as seasoned, but some of them with the range tools, with the range weaponry, like the crossbows, you see a couple dummies placed here and there scattered, that have arrows that are pretty accurate in what you would assume for a, general creature and or humanoid of such unknown region to have vital points of.
So it would definitely be safe to say that this is a definitely armed militia.
Mm-hmm. They have an entire palisades built around you guys. The whole wall just to protect you guys from this particular entry point for whatever reasons.
I would go ahead and grab like as much food as I could.
Yeah.
One bowl for myself, one bowl for Reno. Take it to him, and then I'll whisper to him, just I'm gonna walk around in quotes, which is like a hint to him as he's gonna discover all the tents and see if he needs to be suspicious and on his toes about things. So he'll sneak around while eating, kind of glance through things.
Yeah, I'll take the food and I'll just kind of start eating the bread, and in my surprise I'll be like, "Whoa, this is actually kind of tasty," and I'll eat a little bit faster. And I'll also give Rascal the nod that I agree.
Okay. Anything else for the rest of you immediately at this time?
I
Big
would like.
G-
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
Yeah, Victory's gonna start eating. And does it taste better than what cigar usually make?
It is bomb.com. Like, you guys don't even, your taste buds are so in shock as if you haven't eaten for years.
Okay. Well, he's gonna have some himself, and he's gonna give Phil and Brad the guards.
Yep.
He's
Phil
gonna
and
go
Brad.
hand them some food as well. Just
Very nice.
he's being
I like that.
nice.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate you, man. It's very hard to get, food all the way up here and have to climb back down and, enjoy it in a good view. We thank you.
No problem.
And they just begin to eat it, and you hear one of them say, "He's an awfully big nicey. I'm just as surprised." And you make it back to the camp. Phineas.
I want to attempt the same thing that our host had did to show off his skills. I'm gonna try to flip the breadsticks and season them and see if I can catch any of them.
Okay. How would you like to do that? You can do performance, athletics, or acrobatics.
Let's go with performance. It's not great, but not bad.
You kick a bunch of breadsticks, ruining half of them. You get one in the air. You do catch it, but you end up putting dirt instead of seasoning. Totally salvageable, but an act of effort.
Phineas eats the dirt like he planned to do that the whole time.
You just see a grin. A man who accepts his own mistakes is a man who knows no defeat. But I must truly ask you, none of you have any feelings deep within or riches on your person that might mean some kind of purpose of your being mysteriously abducted out here? I'm just simply inquiring because I am trying to help you figure out your purpose, your reason.
I'll kind of check my pack to see if there's anything new. Do I find anything new in my
Nothing but
bag
your
or
normal
anything?
belongings. He looks at you kind of greedily. Ooh. As you turn up with nothing, he's
Oh.
kind of understood. He kind of like just says you're excused, and then he goes to the next guy, and he's just kind of like eyeballing each of you with a little bit of hunger in his eyes. Can all of you give me an insight check?
Oh, this is like Wrath's rolls.
Big G will roll when they get back. The rest of you guys call him out for Rascal. Okay.
Well,
What was that, Rascal?
go for my insight.
12?
Yeah.
Sorry. All right. Very nice, Phineas. Sigard, insight. Insight, Big G. The Sigard run away too? I think so. You ran so far away. He saw my tiny eyes. Very nice, Big G.
Yeah, I'm trusting anyone or whatever things.
Yeah, you're with it. You're for the cause. Okay. Yeah, really all of you guys are pretty fucking convinced. Phineas, he's so impressive. You know there's more. This guy is way too calm, way too chill. He doesn't seem as excited as someone should be for what he described as the scenario is. If you were a dude guarding God knows what for who knows how long, and it finally happened, wouldn't you be a bit more thrilled?
I'll make note of that, but I won't say anything at this point.
Mm-hmm. Sigurd, insight check. He did run away. I told you guys.
When I'm hovering over the character sheet, the pop-up is blocking everything. Is there a way to just turn that off?
No idea what everyone complains about this pop-up, but you know what I did hear one
Oh,
time?
it's when you press caps lock.
Why are you pressing caps lock while you're...
That's my push to
Why-
talk.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even know that was a thing. So then it's a key binding, but I think I can get rid of the pop-up, but I'm not sure what it's... I think it's core.
Is this
I'll
a
find-
disadvantage?
Everything in your life is a disadvantage. What's the 1 point of exhaustion? Sorry. Is it? I think that's what it is, right? I'm not sure. Goddamn.
Yeah,
Diablo,
one
doesn't
point
matter.
of exhaustion.
Yeah, Rascal, yours is already rolling at that, right? Because you're using D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
Perfect. I saw the word pop up this morning when I was working on your guys' settings, and I don't remember where it went. So when I do find it again, I'll. Oh wait, no, that's chat bubble. Just kidding. Pixel ratio left to above. No tooltip on hover. Maybe it's that. All right, save changes. Everything's gonna restart, guys. Maybe that's what it is, and hopefully that fixes your problem.
That might be bad though, because what about spells?
That's your problem. You can the ellipsis on the right hand side, guys, of everything in your guys' sheets it's called an ellipsis. Those 3 dots, in case you don't know, opens up your item in detail. So if you ever need to not, and plus if you're using my thing right now, Sigurd, I didn't understand D&D Beyond when it said descriptor text. It literally has you mandatorily fill a bunch of in my thought, I was like, this is just asking me to repeat the same thing over and over. So I just repeated I just copied the first sentence of everything into it. So for yours, your pop-ups were useless for my stuff, at least, or
Yeah.
anything I make and give you until I fix it. But I learned that when I saw yours. I was like, oh, that's bad.
Okay.
But I don't know. Did that help? I think the pop-up's still happening when you hover. I don't know how that works. Caps lock. Nah, I don't. I cannot.
No,
remove
they're
it.
not. They're not popping up anymore.
Oh, cool. So it's working for you.
Nope. Never mind. Now they are.
Just kidding. I don't know. Do it without talking.
Yeah. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. I'll get it.
Silence.
I'll get it working.
Roll an insight. Use the Argon HUD. I just thought of that.
Yeah. When I click that, it doesn't actually work. It turned on for a little bit, and then it just stopped working.
You have to keep your token selected. When you click off of it, it turns it off.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
And then your skills are on that gray bar above your picture in very small text, unless you make it bigger in your own settings. Oh, by the way, guys, anyone who doesn't know what the Argon HUD is, if you click on your character and click the little swords that are in your little selection of measure tools, it should be right underneath your measure tool. It'll open up a HUD on the bottom that pretty much replicates a kind of like a fake BG3 vibe scenario. You can customize it, etc., to your own liking. And then there's a gray bar above your character name that says Save Skills Tools, and that has all your roles, and you can just click them from there in case you prefer that instead of the page.
When was that added?
It's always been there. I just didn't announce it because I forgot, and
How do
I just
you
thought of
add
it right now.
spells to the cast
freaking
spell
awesome.
list?
You click and drag it from your character sheet, I believe, just works.
Oh, that's not
But
working
it could
for
be
me.
filtered also on your thing. So there's a bunch of little filter buttons that can be goofy on there that you might want to look at before messing with things. But when you cast spell, it'll come up, and then depending if you I see all 5 of your spells. What are you trying to put on there? Oh, hold on.
Oh no, I have all my first levels on there and my second levels, but then all the third levels are just
because you don't have
gone.
a third spot. You don't have a slot. Do you have a third level spell slot at level 6? Oh, there you go. You click on it. Found it. You just click on the little third level, and it'll open it up on the top, or at least for me. Do you see that?
Oh yeah.
I guess you can
Okay.
click the second and it'll hide it. Oh yeah, it's collapsible. So if you guys have spells or stacks, you click the little name title and it'll close them down like stacks. That's
yeah,
cool.
it just turns out
I don't
it's
use it personally,
collapsible.
but nice. So use that if it helps. But insight check, please. Oh, you already did. Just kidding. You're good. Yeah, you too, Sigurd. You noticed that this big dude, again by the name Murgo, he seems like he's non-content with what he's discovering. Like there's something he's either playing down or there should be more celebration for your guys' arrival. There's something off.
Does Sigurd sense anything with perception?
Or you just be seen and looking at him. But that's why you rolled the 22 insight. So I'm telling you that, and only you
Oh,
and
gotcha.
Phineas know that, and it's not open knowledge. So Phineas has kept it to himself. Do you announce it to your ally in front of him, or do you find a way to communicate, or do you just hold it in?
I'm just
Or
gonna
act on
lean
it?
over and whisper to Big G that this guy doesn't seem fully trustworthy. He doesn't seem like someone who'd been guarding a spot forever for us to come here. Doesn't seem happy about it.
Did you kind of nod and look at the big guy?
I get it. You were all concerned. I too. I had no idea what I'd get. I was hoping for treasure, maybe a cool creature. I don't know. I had no plans, but a dragon would have been nice. Again, perhaps someone has something on their person that can answer some of our concerns.
Dragon? Have you ever seen a dragon in person?
Ha! No, but I'd love one. Wouldn't us all?
I
After
would
all
love.
this waiting, I think for sure something of value would have emerged.
You
Well,
mentioned that this wasn't the first time. How many times has this happened before?
uh, I mentioned that. I think technically I mentioned that it might not have been the first odd experience of mine, of course.
Hmm.
People is hardly a mystery. If you were a dragon, I wouldn't know what to do with it. You might have eaten me. But, this, I have men I'm clearly capable of leading.
Are you though?
Why wouldn't I? Everyone called me out to greet you. I didn't see any of them step up and offer you food in which has been prepped endlessly, day by day. By my order, of course.
I mean, and not to rag on your position in any means necessary, but
Rag! No rags here. Clearly delicacies.
isn't a greeter more of the lackey's position?
Oh, you strike a nerve. Yes, I perhaps am a bit more privileged than the rest of our gods present. And yes, I do answer another who is not present, in which puts me in authority. Which I am sure you grasp with your wide knowledge of things.
Indeed. But that does mean you do answer to somebody. So therefore, who is it that you answer to? If we're to be allied with you and work with you and share knowledge with you, don't you think that we should be informed of who we're actually working for?
You hear massive coming from this way. As you guys look, the door rattles briefly. I'm trying to figure out how to do the other pinks. Ignore this. I think it's this one. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, 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 bing. There you go. As the gate rattles and shakes, you hear the guards go, "Oh, Emerald! They're here!" As they say that, you guys immediately look toward your host. Well, I had hoped you all figured something out. Now we have to defend you. He stands up. This time when he doesn't look fatigued. He doesn't look tired. He doesn't have that same sense of exhaust. He just like, and from underneath his cloak and his arm pops out. One has a heavy crossbow in it, is stretched out, preloaded, and the other wields a great axe. And he gets the great axe and now sticks it outside behind him and adheres it to some kind of attachment he has. Then he holds the heavy crossbow. It's time we get some time together again, Loan. As he speaks to his crossbow like it's a humanoid or sentient being. And he looks at you all. Well, I'm gonna hope some of you are ready for interests.
I will look towards Big G, not knowing who Big G is, but noticing that Big G is Big G. I will just look at her and say, I'll give her a knowing nod and say, we'll see who defends who.
Well, Big G kind of just look at you and say, huh?
As such,
I'll approach.
Go ahead.
I'll run up onto Reno and like be right beside him, and use salvage or not salvage. Primal savagery. I'll activate that and look up to him. Oh, it seems like we never have a long time, so we have to fight something. Well, tired and old. I don't think I'll do so hot, but if I do, I think that's a drink or food. You know, whatever works for this high classed feller in front of us, but we'll see what happens.
Trouble seems to find us pretty often.
Quickly, often. I like that.
Does Sigurd understand that trouble is very close?
Banging on the doors definitely sounds like danger close. The guards
Okay.
all seem to be running up and staring over what looks to be the posts, though they yell out, "There's a handful of them! At least half a dozen so far!" You see that there's a massive crossbow over here that's already loaded, and you see the guard just trying to move it around to aim it at one of the assumed individuals, in which you guys cannot see from behind here as he's up a hill. You see the guard over here as he's looking around. He's like, "It's clear on this end!" And then there's 3 guards up here that all began to hustle. Let's go!
Could
Their reaction. Go ahead.
Could I rush here and then cast? So I'm saying cast, but this technically was done beforehand because it's what I just choose because I'm the battlesmith the armor artificer.
Uh-huh.
I'm going with the infiltrator armor, but I will run here and I will cast because this is how it says to do it. Let's see. Let me just. Okay. So as I touch my you'll see me rush forward and I'll touch my armor. And as I touch my armor, you'll see this this faint, almost similar to my skin color, but a sky blue glow emit around my scale mail armor, and I will go ahead and cast arcane armor on myself.
You got it. Sounds good. What happened? Oh, that was weird. Keyboard freaked out, guys. I wasn't able to type anything. Whoa. Okay, so you passed arcane armor on yourself.
Sigurd casts spiritual weapon.
Where do you place it?
Right beside myself.
And where did you want the spiritual weapon? Well, sorry. What kind of spiritual weapon did you want?
Can you make it a giant hammer?
I could. Do you deserve it?
Definitely.
We shall belong. Jot down. One second. What color do you want? Do you want it to be blue, green, orange, purple, red, yellow, glow on the outside, seeing the hammer details? Or do you want it to be like a holy hammer where it's like a neon bright, where you see less of the hammer details, but a badass spectral hue, blue, green, orange, purple, or red?
Holy blue.
Okay. Yeah, got it. Cool. Later down the line, not today, the spiritual weapon will have the attacks built in, so when you cast it, it's just a token we drop, and you can just click right off of that. It'll have all the mods matching yours. But in the meantime,
Big G is gonna move over to the post, and can he climb up to the post?
sure. I mean, it's like a pull up for you.
Yeah, and he climbs up. What do he see?
Is Sigurd climbs up. You see, I'm just moving you there because I could actually just move the walls 1 sec. There's all this fancy stuff that they just came out with that I just have not had time to catch up with. But you pop up, boop, and you see. 1 sec. Let me continue this. Only they see this. You guys see it because of privilege, but not because you do. You see 6 kobolds. And when I say kobolds, I'm going to be honest with you. They're not the you tickle them and they die kobolds. They look very angry, very fierce, very purposeful. Not angry in a way like where they're like, hey, here we are. 1 sec, sorry. They're not like, hi friend, blah blah blah. They're more like very trained, military almost. They're uniformed, I guess would be the best word for you. Since you understand mafia, they're purposed. They know their role.
Okay. Do they look like they're trying to siege the door?
They were knocking, actually, believe it or not.
They were really knocking?
That's what Big G sees.
Hmm?
They have like a massive, heavy kind of shield in their hand that's made out of metal, and they're just like boom, boom, banging it against the door. And they're looking up. They see these guys, but they know that they're not the ones to speak to, so they're waiting. Oops, I forgot to drop the spiritual weapon.
What is Amerigo doing at this time? Is he moving up to the gate, or is he just staying put?
1 sec, sorry.
No problem.
Not quick. And the spiritual weapon appears here. He is following you guys behind.
I'll follow behind him, and then I'll hold a minor illusion if the gates or whoever something seems to go wrong. I'll cast a minor illusion of someone's just shouting halt. That's behind the group of people, or behind the kobolds. So basically over here,
Okay.
if that's possible.
Yep. No, there's no combat right now, so you guys are free movement, technically.
Could you possibly move me like above the gate, but not being able to be spotted by like the kobolds or any of the enemies on the other side?
Like, you want to climb the gate?
Yeah.
You can give me a stealth check.
Yeah.
28 passes as the 2 lookout kobolds rolled well, a 15 and a 19, but not a 28. So you scuttle up and you're on the platform with Big G and the other 2 guards. You see the same thing they do. Oh, right. And they are below, about 15 or so feet, give or take, depending on your actual height and departure. The rest of you guys on the outside of the gate. Oh, this one's supposed to be see-through. That's why I thought it was weird. What's up, guys? You guys should be able to see through this gate. Oh, I see. That's how it works. I'll fix it. Oop. Yeah, there you go. Now you can see. There you go. Well, technically, you guys would see it when you come up to the gate, but since I removed the walls here, they could see them there. But nonetheless, because the gate has whole, see-through. Point being, you're up there, rascal. Your spiritual weapon here, Sigurd, is present. You see Amerigo walking past you guys, if you guys were to halt at all, and he stands at the gate. Hello, we meet again, you kobold fiends. The kobold that was banging on the door steps aside, almost as if he is letting another walk up. We come because you told us that you weren't going to be staying here longer than a week. We've been watching you, studying, and you're lying, Amargo. You're lying. Do any of you guys interact or interject or continue watching?
I would like to try and see if I can how well armed and armored these kobolds are.
Give me a 1 sec. An intelligence check.
Intelligence check, no problem.
Solid bound leathers, and the 4 up front have shields.
Can I ask a quick question about Foundry?
Hmm.
How do you upcast a spell?
When you go to cast a spell, a prompt pops up. There's a little drop down that asks what level if it's upcastable.
Okay.
Could I possibly prepare for whatever, like these? I assume I know they're kobolds because I see them now. But could I prepare for whenever they come through, I jump off and latch onto one of them?
Attempt to. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Reno? You're muted. Did you step away? Okay. Big G, you doing anything while you're still up there?
No, he's just kind of observe what's happening.
You got it. You hear Murgo go,
Sorry.
Calm, small friend. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Reno.
Really quick, just looking over to where Amerigo came out of. Can I see if the hut? Can I see the entrance to the hut from my point of view?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, the tent's in the way. And it's like a little hill, apparently.
Okay.
So, but if you moved, you could. So let's say you moved, and you were like an extra in the back of a recording scene. You appear behind Emergo, and the kobold sees you and is like, "Who the fuck is that?" And then he doesn't say that, but he sees you. One of them's wondering who you are as you're giving no attention to the condition at hand. As you do see the front door, what are you trying to do with it?
I'm trying to see if it looks pretty nice and if there might be anything worth traveling over there to prick my hands for.
Check.
Okay.
As you're doing that, Emergo's like, "Come, small one. You must understand. I've simply needed rest. A large man like myself can only be more so often. This is ridiculous. These grounds are not yours. Cloudy foresaw you here. Told us to remove you then. We let you live. And yet your men are starving. That's right. We are aware. We bring peace, food, my away. But you must let them travel among us. Be free of your grasps." Before Margot responds, do you guys do anything?
So from what I'm hearing, it sounds like Margot may not be doing as well as they seem to be. Is that what I'm getting?
In the gist, based off your previous insight and hold study.
Mm-hmm. I will shout out
Correction.
to.
Margot's doing great.
Yes, he's doing great. No. I get that. He's doing totally
I just wanted to
great.
correct that in case I misled you. So I just wanted to get it.
No. I think I'm pretty sure I get the gist of who this guy is, this Largo. But I will shout out to the kobolds. I will go, hey, we just kind of arrived here. We don't really know what's going on. Could you maybe fill us in since this gentleman didn't?
He wouldn't know. Only Cloudy can see your fogged pasts and tell us why you made it here.
And who is this Cloudy?
Our kobold leader. They speak very well for being kobolds. They're not like speaking in riddles. They're not Oompa Loompas. They're not your guys' previous kobold experience. Maximum intelligence is like your mom's fat kind of moment. Maybe some artificers because of their natural tinkering, but nothing subpar. Like they're on their own, very tough to grow because nobody backs them. But as a group, very capable, but foolish if the leadership's bad. These guys look military trained. They speak with purpose. They seem as if they're knowledgeable. It's not as if any of them seem to be in the dark. All of them have very stern, serious looks. None of them are confused with this conversation. It's as if they're all following it, as if any of them are ready to step in. I will give you guys that based off of your general checks so far.
I'll stay prepared where I am, just in case if they bust through or anything, but I'll also keep my ears open for the whole conversation to see if I can pick up if any of them are telling lies or trying to be like decisive or persuasive in some way.
You got it.
Anything
else? Go ahead.
I would like to speak to Margot. I would say to him, hey, I thought you said you were just protecting us from some wolves and like boars and stuff. This
They have
seems
sharp teeth, don't they? And they lead us just the same. Kobolds, you wait till I have a sidebar. They need my attention. He walks to you.
When the kobold said that they've been here for 1 week,
He said you were only supposed to be here for a week.
Yeah. Did I see Amargo kind of like panic or anything?
No.
Because he had
right
told us
after
that he was here for a while.
You would have heard right after that. They said, and yet you stayed and we've just been watching long since. Like they basically were saying, we know you've been here forever. And we've been watching you this whole time because you already lied to us. So we had no reason to come and ask you again, basically. And he knew it. He accepted it. At no point does he feel ousted. He has already met these guys. This is a continuation from something prior.
Okay.
As he approaches Phineas, in which you also are by, Reno, and Sigurd. The three of you have like a unintentional huddle due to his just general size and booming whisper. All of you, you must understand. I have only had your best interests. I was told to defend this place, and you're right. There is someone above me. But that person above me told me if anyone, and I always had a feeling it'd be these mangly little kobold demons, if anyone tried to take you all before I brought you to him, then I'm to murder everyone here. And trust me when I say I'm capable. And he looks at the three of you with a very serious attempt at a dead stare intimidation. And you guys can all roll insight checks.
This is going to be a what roll?
Insight.
Insight.
Wow. Jeez Louise. All three of you look at each and understand that he's serious, but he's serious in the sense that he knows, like you guys understand that his calculations show that he's going to come up short. Who's not going to die is probably going to be one of you or a party member or something, but you understand that he knows he's at the disadvantage.
I will go ahead and look towards just Reno or Sigurd either one. It doesn't necessarily matter which one, but I'm just gonna give him a what the hell should we do here? Look.
Can I see what kind of latch is on the gates?
It is a so it's actually like this big elongated kind of rope system that doesn't hold up the actual door. It's actually a false door altogether, like the gate itself. This rope is what's keeping it all in a tension of stillness. If the rope were to be laxed and or ripped, broken, or released, the gate opens up like 4 parallels, kind of like a bad blind system for a side of a home.
Okay, I'll look at Reno, which I assume he can see me where I'm kind of hiding on top of the gate pathway, and like wiggle my like sharp claw at him and nod with a question, hinting towards should I jump down and cut the rope or wait to see what happens.
I'll signal him to wait a little bit longer, to cut the rope. And I'll return Phineas's look as if kind of just I would respond.
It would
kind of
open up like that, I guess, if that
with
makes sense.
caution.
The arrows being where they'd be able to go through or climb through, etc. Apologies, you were doing what with what? How?
I would return Phineas's look by just giving him kind of the odd look, as if that was a bit intimidating or crazy, and yeah, that's pretty much the look I'd give him.
Okay.
I'm going to respond by casting Bless on the 2 people closest to me, which is Phineas and Reno, and I don't think I can hit Big G from here, so I'm gonna hit Rascal.
Yep, you can do that. Okay, cool. So Rascal, Reno, and Phineas have Bless. You then hear Murgo go, "Guys, you need to understand. If you let these kobolds take you to Cloudy, he's got one eye. And he does mysterious things. He's kidnapped a boy once. The guy came out like he was a Tarzan or something.
And who do you report to?
These mingly little dragon demons have been trying to find his name from me, and I won't tell. But I'll tell you." He leans in. "Her name's Farone. But if you use her name too often, she'll kill you." And he looks
And is
dead
she-
honest. Like, your guys' insights can tell that this dude is not bluffing. Everything he said is 100% Boy Scouts honor. He will die trying to kill everyone here. That is his goal. If
I
shit
will-
goes sideways.
I will look at Reno after he says that, and I'll just kind of give the shrug, like I don't really trust these guys, but I don't know who these kobolds are either.
Yeah, I would also agree. I'd like to ask him, is Feronis, what type of person is Feronis? Ferone?
Oh,
Farone.
Farone? Sorry.
Farone, thank you.
All of you guys roll
on
a
Frito.
D100 to see if you guys have ever heard it ever in the wind. Oh my god, what is up with my keyboard tripping out, guys? Have any of you guys experienced it where you type anything on your keyboard and it starts shortcutting everything?
Shortcutting.
It's crazy. I'm typing like F-E-R-I-O-N and it
I rolled a
refreshed my
17.
thing. Okay. It refreshed my entire Foundry, closed 2 pages. Like, it did a whole gazillion things that I've never seen before. Let's see, I'm gonna try it again. Maybe it was just...
Might have a key pushed in where it does the FN. You know how some keyboards do the
You're
FN?
right, I do have an FN, but that's not... No. Oh, you know... No? I don't know. We'll see. I turned it off and turned it back on, and guess what? It worked, so we'll see.
It's unrelated, but everything's gray for me in the map.
I know, that's because you have dark vision and it's nighttime.
Oh, I wasn't aware. Okay.
I started this saying it's nighttime, but yes.
I'm
that's
sorry.
fair.
My
You're good.
memory.
If it's gray on your guys' screen when you click your characters, it's because that's the dark vision at nighttime. Everything in color is because there's a current light source providing it. If you don't see anything beyond the light sources, it's because you don't have dark vision at all. But
Makes
I think
so
all of you
much
guys
more
do.
sense.
So that's why
I rolled a 17, or yeah,
You got it.
17 for the D100 thing.
You got it. 2 for Sigurd, 47, 44. I'm missing Big G.
Oh, I'm also knowing this?
Everyone rolls a D100. It's a chance. You said a 14, Rascal?
17.
Disqualified. Okay, Sigurd, you're the only one who's ever heard of it. You were close. Sigurd, when he says Ferone, it's interesting for you. You know who she is because of the history of Hamilton. Let's just say that Hamilton was at a cause against her, but an entire separate coalition killed him and put him on a stake, and that was the Goblin King. The Goblin King and Ferone have no relation. But you only know the name because it's in a lot of his texts of study, etc. Because I'll give you more details, but you know the name. It's a threat, and the threat should not be around this much later. Let's just put it that way. It surprises you because you haven't heard it. You've never heard it. You've actually only ever read it to yourself. So imagine hearing it for the first time from someone else.
What do you mean, Ferone?
Like Ferone, the Eclectic spawn. Ferone.
They're still around?
He looks out to the kobolds as he points to Sigurd. All right, the jokes are over. Are you in or out? I cannot offer you any other pieces if you break my pacts. I am bound to service.
And we all heard this, correct? This Ferone conversation?
Yep, 3 of you there.
I will get Reno and trustful eyes to this guy. I don't trust this guy one bit.
I move back a little bit and I want to cast a message to the Cobalt. Whichever one seems to be the leading one, and just ask them if I forgot the person's name.
Cloud.
I'll ask him. Who was it? Bob.
Cloudy is who you refer to.
Cloudy. Thank you. Will you lead us to Cloudy, and will we be safe?
You hear back. Safe. Safe is up to your cooperation. And we already told you we intend to bring you to Cloudy.
It's more of a mystery now.
After you're done resulting yours, everyone can roll initiative right now,
Uh-huh.
but after you're done, we're going to go into an initiative set. But continue. Was there anything else, Rena?
And I'll ask him. What will you do with us? Or what will Cloudy do with us? Sorry.
And you cast message again?
Yeah.
We will judge your purpose here and decide whether or not you're ally or foe, and then give you chances.
I'll quickly send another message to Rascal to see if do you want to side with the kobolds or the Amargo.
I mean, they're not really giving us any good reason to join or be a part of either of them. I mean,
And you're only privileged to being up there with Big G. You didn't hear any of the previous conversation that occurred. So your judgment is beyond that.
yes. So,
But by the way, what was your initiative since you're talking?
I got 10.
Thank you. Continue.
Yeah, like we haven't really got any information from either of them, from what I could hear, about any offers of who's who's the better side. So my little small ass, I think you should be with the kobolds because I feel like we'll have an upper hand against this big dude and these puny little soldiers or guards or whatever they are.
As
I'll,
you
um,
announce that back to him, go ahead.
I'll cast message one last time to who's the bugbear? Oh, Big G.
Big G.
Yes.
I say I'll ask him quickly pick Emergo or Kobolds.
I mean, we can fight all of them.
Okay. I'm just gonna wait for the party then to make the decision here then. And I'm
That's
just gonna
going on. Big
slowly
G
back
and
up.
Rascal, you hear this guard go, huh. You are Brett. Sorry, you hear Brett. They're kind of nice. What did you say? I mean, that one's blinking at me. Rascal and Big G give me insight checks.
$15.
Cool. Both of you guys realize that this guy is being charmed by someone below. This one starts rubbing his head. Hey, what's wrong with Brett? Seems as if he too was an attempt to be charmed and he passed. Something is afoot. What do the two of you do up there?
I look at Phil and Brad and said, I think we're in this together.
Yeah. We're in trouble?
I'm not too sure, but we share some food together. We're friends now.
Huh? He nods. He looks at Brett. Let's help him. With that. And the kobold's gone. It is now a Murgo. He goes, everybody, let us come. The kobolds were leaving. We will discuss this in the morning. Rascal. You hear that? What do you do?
As they're leaving, he says this.
No one's leaving. He said that he's like trying to tell everyone, calm down. They will be leaving. Like he's trying to hope that they will obey. And so far, you understand that there's a lot of tension. And people are already being charmed. No one down below knows this. Just you and Big G.
I will point to the side where I'll look at I'll look at Reno and point to where the kobold side and like shrug to see if I should jump over that side and start conversating with him and get more information, or just wait everything out and
Reno, give me an insight check.
Inside track.
You have no fucking clue what he's trying to tell you, but he's shrugging confusedly. Do you nod your head yes or nod your head no?
I'll shrug back and I'll just nod yes as well.
He's just as confused as you, Rascal, but he nodded yes in lead, so you feel the affirmative.
I'll go ahead and I'll try to make this look or sound cool, but I'll pull out one of my daggers and just kind of leap off the side and just jam it into the wood of the gate and just let it slide me down safely in front of the kobold.
You got it. You jump on the other side, and Murder goes, ugh! Ugh! He just lets out an exhale. You arrive. Ba-doop. The kobold looks at you. We'll get to your conversation shortly. Big G, you see Rascal jump down. What do you do?
Um, let me roll something.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Big G is gonna rage.
Okay.
And he's gonna toss his it's actually a great sword. And he's gonna toss it at one of the sorcerer.
Ooh, shit. Are you jumping down or just raging and throwing it?
Raging and throwing it.
You got it. Do it. You have strength, so I'd say you'd be proficient with it. So just a normal attack.
So
Or you have
based on
something special.
so I'm a giant barbarian.
Mhm.
So anything that I imbued with magic as I rage will become a thrown weapon.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And
Let me give it the throwing properties real quick. And that's your greatsword, right? One sec. Let me trigger it in there so you can actually throw it at a distance without it spazzing on you. What's your range?
2060.
Damn. Scary guys. Do not fuck with Big G.
Yeah.
And the throne property. Dope. Okay, go ahead and recast it because it's been updated. Oh, yeah, don't use your just use your regular greatsword. You can leave greatsword with rage just for us to know, but click your regular greatsword and I added range to it with the throne property. Okay, target one and chuck it at him. Or I guess target one before you chuck it. I don't know, however you want to do it. There might be an animation. I don't know if there's a throw animation for greatsword.
Did it work?
I didn't see anything. Do you have an attack roll option or anything come up? Oh, you just clicked it to hold on. Click the picture of it to get the full attack damage, etc. Not the name of it. So I don't know how that actually popped in there for your chat. Yours is acting. Okay. Let me check something. No, that's working. Where are you clicking it from? Your character sheet?
Yeah.
And nothing else. So like when you click it, it doesn't say complete previous nothing. It just pops it in there in the chat.
It did have the complete previous, and then I kind of can't discard previous.
Do complete. I'm not even getting it now. I am. Just do discard. Yeah, discard previous gives me that, but not yours. Can you roll off of mine? Do you see the attack and damage off of mine that I put out there? Or does it look like yours?
Should I just roll like this thing and then see if I can do an attack?
Oh, you have it. Oh, I didn't see what you could see. Perfect. That's it.
Okay.
That's the secret. Boom. You got it.
Okay. And then roll damage, I guess?
You hit with 22. Absolutely. You guys don't see it, but you hear it. Big G goes into a rage and just chucks a long sword or a great sword like no one's ever seen before. Go ahead and give me that damage. And were you attacking the closest or the furthest one?
The closest one, I guess.
You got it.
Yeah. And it has like additional 1d6 damage.
So then in the situational, add 1d6.
Okay.
Nice. 17 points as you chuck it. It flies across and it just hits this guy. But it kind of grazes in a severe way because it's a great sword and he's a kobold, but it doesn't puncture him as it just as he screams out in crying agony. By the way, Big G, does your super awesome rage allow your great sword to fly back at you, or is it stuck in the ground?
Yep, it flies back at me and I can make another attack.
As he's screaming and yelling, the blade flies right back at you. Go again. Very nice. Oof, that's scary. Jesus, 2d6 plus 5. Man, that's brutal, guys. If I've never seen something this creative. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's why I was like, let you see the actual
Yeah.
subclass, and then we can tweak it maybe.
But we'll watch it. We'll watch it. I mean, you know, it's following pattern so far, so you're good. But it is awesome. 2020. Boop, 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 boop. So yours is the same. I see. Did you make the great sword with rage on your own?
Yeah,
Very cool.
so that one will have rage and it will have like the throne, the additional
Gotcha.
damage.
Okay, I see what you did with it. So you could totally do yours moving forward in the future. I didn't know you had it built that way. I thought you were just clicking a feature.
No.
I was trying to help you, but you helped yourself. I'm so proud. You chuck it for the second time like a yo-yo, and I mean, I wish I could describe to you what it is you leave behind, but I'm gonna let you do that.
So it actually become like lightning damage. So I can choose to change the lightning type, and so it just kind of shrieked and then disappear and then another shrieked again, and then just kind of obliterate the kobold.
Obliterated.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, you guys all realize that is terrifying because you only heard something, but you didn't witness a thing. And when you guys come around the corner, when she comes, there's gonna be nothing but blood. But I'm working on that. So
And Big G's gonna yell at the guard and says, "Attack!"
he's like, yeah. And he has turned his at the end initiative, but he will go then and follow suit. With that, Phineas, you hear Big G yell out attack to the guys up here. He has no fucking care about you guys. You could see that. But with that, you have already heard bloodshed. The kobolds are just looking in shock. It's not their turn yet, but shit's about to go down. You run up to the gate and you see one of them dead with no weapon left behind. This is an impossible clue game. What do you do?
So I take notice of the dead kobold. That definitely hurts our chances of getting out of here without a fight. I heard Big G shouting, correct?
Yes, you heard him, but you didn't see him do the attack.
So I can only I can't assume, but I
It's
can
one
assume.
of those like Ripley's Believe It or Not situations.
Yes, exactly. So I'm going to guess this came from our side, and I'm just going to post up at the gate. I'm going to cast blur on myself. So let me go ahead and do that. How do I get to the character sheet has changed a little bit. How do I get to my spells?
It's gonna be the fourth tab on the right. If you're looking at the red one, is it like red on the top that has like a skull in it?
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. Gotcha. Cool. Table of spells.
And that will be my action.
You got it. You blur yourself. Blur.
In that
Blur,
lens.
blur, 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 blur.
You do allow me, I will. Everybody, just calm down a minute. We can talk this through.
Give me a persuasion at disadvantage.
Oh yeah.
Death is already on the table. Blood has
Oh
been
yeah, of
spilled.
course.
While this was all happening, of course, the guys that were hustling their way all the way down the hill finally made it to Reno and just gonna stay around this guy. One of them comes up to help the crossbow dude who's targeting waiting ever so patiently to fire that big bad boy at the poor kobolds on the other side. Your persuasion, you feel like you did the right thing, but with all the tensity and the hissing from the kobolds, and then Margot and the other guys shuffling around, everyone's preparing in not silent silence, if that makes sense. You're the only one speaking. Reno, your fellow that spoke, Phineas, is literally a blur.
Is literally a blur.
Yeah, he can't
Yeah.
blur himself.
I'm literally shifting. My vision is shifting in and out of existence, basically.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. Um,
Don't forget 3B glowing
I'm
or blessed.
going. Oh yeah, that's right. So I guess we're fighting. Boop, boop, boop. I'll cast Chill Touch on one of the guards or the one of the guys in front.
On one of the guards?
The kobolds, whichever one.
Gotcha. Sorry, I forget its range. Yeah, which one? There's two, there's three, literally lined up, all the same distance.
The one closest to Rascal.
Rascal, you're gonna have a tough time talking. You got it.
Oh.
Fire away. You don't know this. Go for it.
Did I actually know the kobold's dead or no?
This kobold's not dead. This one's alive.
The one that got
No, you
obliterated.
don't see him. You don't see the obliterated one.
Oh, okay. So actually, I wouldn't attack then.
Well, you heard
I
it,
think,
and you heard attack from Big G.
I'll send a message instead of Chill Touch to Rascal, and just ask him: are you still going to try to have conversations, or are you going to attack? And if not, maybe get the hell out of there. Please respond to this message.
You get
I'll
5
respond
words
right
with
back as quick as I can. Like, I don't think there's no talking. Huh?
All right.
I would say I don't think there's
I
no
think-
way of talking to them after Big G literally lobbed a sword at him and brought it back and did it again. So I think it's just fight these guys at this point and just
Okay,
hope
so I'll position myself
we
over to the side a little
survive.
bit more.
Okay.
And I think that ends my turn.
You got it. With that, it is the ghouls. Immediately, hi! Attack! Immediately, these two start climbing the wall. As they get to the top, this guy over here fires his massive machine. You see it go right between the two of them as both the kobolds do like a parting way between each other, and the bolt just shatters a piece of the door wide, and they just climb right through and drop. There, two of them are now on the other side. This one right in front of Rascal is going to jump right into the combat with Rascal. And they're going to begin a multi-attack. And they're going to go for it. As they swing their spear the first time at Rascal, Rascal easily dodges out of the way. And then a follow-up. Let's check this out. Let's see. What's the distance on that? He attacks again. Missing both times. He's quick, but he was not prepared for this. So you could see that he's kind of warming up. Rascal, you'd imagine that over time, it could get dangerous. These two, that one is within range of Phineas, so it will also take some attacks. And because it is next to its ally, it gets pack tactics. And it is going to attack you with advantage.
Yes, it does.
And it is going to miss the first one. So far, you guys are picking up that these guys are mobile. Now, when they get their gist going, they do things like this, and they stab people like Phineas. Unless he has some kind of great reaction. Pretty sure that's
Nope,
what's
I
going
don't
on.
have action for dodging anything.
You got it. Did anything pop up on your screen by chance? Or no?
No.
Okay. Then my damage thing broke. So I will roll this one. And you take... Oh, wait. As a blur, it's a disadvantage. Oh, no. It would have been flat for me, huh?
It's that disadvantage.
So it would have been
So
flat. I
it
would have
would-
missed the first one. You're fine. It would have been flat because of his advantage. So he swings, and the blur just dodges out of the way. This dude is going to chuck his spear at you flat because he could do things like that. He's not going to do anything fun like bring it back to himself, but he'll pick it back up because it's a nat fucking 20. He has a string on it, like a yo-yo inspiration, similar to what Big G does, but it's nowhere near as efficient except today. He fucking chucks that thing, and it has a springy step in it and hits you and yanks it back and gets his spear back because it's a nat goddamn 20.
Damn.
Thank you for your inspiration, Big G, for 4 points of damage. Not as effective when you slingshot it, but it still works and they got it back. And then they're going to check it back at you because they're overly confident, and I don't think it'll happen twice. But it still hits, so he's very happy with the results. He's like... And he just looks at the other one and does like a, yeah. That was actually pretty badass. I'm very impressed with this kobold. This one is going to run up on Rascal and jump his ass. In case you guys don't know, kobolds is my #1 favorite spam enemy, but they're also like super powerful because my kobolds have gone through some shit, and you guys are facing very experienced kobolds now. You're welcome.
Kobold.
It's not my fault. They've learned a lot from the previous players.
Sorry, Rascal.
Rascal gets hit once. Let's see, second one. Then Rascal gets hit twice with the 15-18
No,
and
no.
taking very low damage for a total of 6. As there's Rascal, with your focus on the guy in front of you, you just feel 2 little stabs in your back as if it was a rough kind of one of those pinpoint massages, and you're like, oh, and then you quickly turn around. Thankfully, nothing super severe in damage. That is the melee kobold's turn. With that, we bring ourselves to Sigurd.
What is this guy's name again? Right here, the big guy.
Amurgo. Oh, Phineas, you dropped blur. Is it concentration? Phineas, you're muted, but I have a feeling that's why you rolled. I'm not just looking for it. It is concentration. I'm not happy, guys. I'm sad for you.
But yeah, the guy's Amarogo.
Fix his glow. There you go. He's still blessed. With the deed. Go ahead. Sorry, Sir God. Amurgo. What do you want to do?
This guy's name is Emergo.
Yep.
I'm gonna turn to Emergo and tell him that I don't trust him, but it looks like we have a common enemy for now.
Now you might see who's truly on your side. He turns around to face the enemies. Huh! When did they get in? As he's just like been distracted. Anything else you do?
How do you what do I do to move the spiritual weapon? Do I just tell you what I want it to do?
Oh, sorry. You're supposed to control it. One sec, my bad. Did I not give you it? Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, that would explain why. There you go. Now you can move it. You just move it, and you can recast for the time being. Recast spiritual weapon, but there's a checkbox that says "Do not consume spell slot." Check that, or uncheck it, so it doesn't use a spell slot, just so you can get the damage, attack, and roll.
Can you describe that one more time?
So you can move it now. So you can move it to where you want it, and if it's next to an enemy and you want to attack with it, because I haven't built the attack in it yet, you'll just cast from your character spiritual weapon again, so you get the rolls, but you're gonna uncheck consume spell slot when you first click on it. It should show up in the bottom left when you use the spell.
It's talking about previous roll.
Yeah, I guess complete previous and see if it gives you a choice. Because you could technically upcast it.
It did take another slot though.
And just give yourself it back. I'll figure out that previous roll thing. I'm not quite sure what that is, to be honest with you guys, but it has been happening and plaguing me lately in all sessions, and it has to be an update. So I will sniff it out. Otherwise, just continue it and then just give yourself the spell slot back. Nice. Right back at you, as the spiritual weapon can't talk for itself, but an announcer appeared out of nowhere to tell you how awesome that was as you critted in the head. Bonk. Give me some damage. Why is no one excited? Are you
I
guys all
am-
muted to
I
hold your
am-
excitement back?
Yeah, I
that
am
was
clicking.
Woo!
I am clicking crit damage, but nothing.
bonk.
It's not rolling anything.
I've been
Hmm.
muted.
You mean the button on the right with the dice, or damage and then the
Yeah,
crit
the
damage?
button
So
on
just
the
click damage. Ignore those buttons. I
both
don't know.
of 'em.
Everything's broken. Click the damage button and then click crit.
yeah. It says roll 0 undefined detected 1 package MIDI call.
What on
Oh.
earth is happening to your system? Okay, you're having a heart attack over there, but first do this. Go in the manual tray and roll it manually.
Okay.
Doubling the normal dice you would roll. So to assist you in that, you don't have a spiritual weapon on your go-to. Let me use this awesome search function. There it is. It is. That would be 1d8 so 2d8 plus your spellcasting modifier, which is 5. So 2d8 plus 5.
Thank you.
I like that, Big G. Grab one for spirit in me. Or for me in spirit. Something like that. It was a haiku. 12. Very nice. You hurt yourself on accident, but it hurts me. I'm just kidding. It was just you rolling. You hit the kobold here, and he's like, as he just gets banged in the back for 12 points of damage. Very impressive across the board.
Does that count as a
And
bonus action?
That's your bonus action with that, yes.
Okay.
And since the spell was already casted, it doesn't count as a spell cast.
Correct. And then you were here. Yep, you got enough movement. You run all the way over there because instead of stopping in front of him, you take the time to go around him and put yourself between the both of them. And you drop Word Radiance, which is a save. Does that affect everyone, including yourself? Or, I mean, not including yourself. Never mind. No one else is in there. I was thinking that you were
Each creature of your choice.
even worse. Ignore me. Okay. One fails. 1 second. 2 second. 2 passes. So this one down here passes. This one that you hit with the spiritual weapon fails. Go ahead and what happens?
Okay. It's at 5th level though, so it's 2d6.
2d6. Sorry. Doo-doo. You rolled that wrong. You rolled the d20. Oh, that was me just kidding. Tripping. I didn't see the damage come up.
7.
Oh,
It's
7.
on
I'm
the-
looking down.
yeah.
My bad. Yeah, I'm like all over the place. Got it.
I don't know what happened on Foundry. Like, I seen the dice roll. I don't know what happened. He rolled a 6 and a 1, and I seen it, but it never popped up in the chat.
It's because it went back to the spell. That's why.
Yeah, it went back to the thing that
If you
says Word of
scroll up,
Radiance.
It's in word. Yeah, it's in the card for the spell. That was my goof too. Nonetheless, you hit him for 7 points. As he is he blind or anything fancy? Or you just hit him? Nope, just radiant
Nah,
damage.
just radiant damage.
Just cowls at you. Anything else?
Nope. I think that's all I got.
You got it. It is the guard's turn. And Big D, Phil runs over here, or Phil. He goes, ah, this one. And he looks down and he chucks a spear.
Duke of shit.
Hits him as he's distracted with his enemies. As he throws it. Does 4 points of damage, but the spear is now down there and he is spearless. Ah, I got him! And he looks at Brett. Brett, talk to me, man. He's like, they're real nice. You probably shouldn't be attacking them. They're my friends. They could be yours.
Oh.
These two run up. Boop, boop, boop. Sorry, not Reno. Reno doesn't. Reno chips. One sec. Let me grab an item. Let me grab an item. These guys don't have a crossbow, so I have to put one on them. They're going to fire. Pew! 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 Missing, and this one too is going to fire. Hitting. The same one in which got the spear got hit with a bolt. As he gets shot in like the upper shoulder area, and then the spear is kind of like lodged into his it kind of like slashed his back more so than lodged, and is just kind of stuck there on the ground with him as he takes a steady amount of damage across the board for 10. And this guard fired, missed. This guy is helping, trying to do a reload, so he's gonna do a sleight of hand to see if he does any good. And we go into the next one.
That's pretty good.
He doesn't cry, he doesn't say ow, and he doesn't hurt his fingers, so he's doing okay. Big G, the other sorcerer in which you did not yet kill, looks at you and kind of hisses in a way, and they cast Levitate. As they cast Levitate, they stand there and rise 20 feet to match you. Da-da-da-dum.
Okay.
Now at your height.
Yes.
They look at you and hiss. And they put their hand out. Poof! And they fire a chromatic bolt. And that's going to hit you for half damage, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's only wait, what kind of damage is it?
That's a great question. Let me see. I don't know if it's specific or if I get to choose. I do. He's going to look at you and pull up your sheet and choose something you're not resistant to and hit you with that.
I'm only
He's going to hit you with
yeah, okay, full damage.
fire. He's going to hit you with fire. You have half, right? No matter what.
No.
Usually. No?
Just
you're
slashing,
raging?
bludgeoning. Yes.
No.
I'm not a bear totem.
Gotcha.
Bear
Yeah.
Totem is the only one that gets resistance to everything except for psychic.
Cool. Bam. You take 10 points of damage. A fire jolt. And he just looks at you. And he is going to shovel this way. He's going to shovel this way. With that, it is our good friend,
Can I
Amerigo.
challenge that a little bit?
What's that? The movement?
The levitating. Unless there's a
Oh,
special
you're right.
levitate-
You're right. You're on it. Thank you. Good call. I totally forgot about the levitating. I just did that because I saw you had it, and I was like, "Oh, I can get on your level." But yeah, otherwise it's pointless. Amerigo, he comes up. He's like, "Ugh." He smiles as he sees you guys fighting the kobolds, and he watches. Yes, he does. He will kind of gracefully, in a way, judge, but he will give you guys some assistance, and he will fire at the one directly south of Sigard. with a heavy crossbow. A
Oh my
19.
goodness! Oh.
As he just cries out in pain as this massive bolt comes for max
Ooh.
damage. It just hits him.
Whoa.
As it hits him in the side. And then Amargo goes, "Now, perhaps everyone might be interested in some peace." As he just feels confident. He's going to throw an intimidation out there. Nice. Well, the kobolds throw out a little insight vibes. They're in pain. They're using their big brain. They're not thinking. They're pissed. Sorry, guys. No chance at peace. Rascal. You got attacked. Everything's going south with kobolds. Rascal. Do. Rascal.
Rascals do want to talk to them.
His refusal. If he comes back, he'll do his turn. Big G.
Okay, I'm gonna do something dumb again. I'm gonna step back 10 feet, and I'm gonna charge forward and lunge as my 2 attack at the floating kobold and jump down.
To hug him. Is that what you're trying to do? You're trying to like capture him in the air and bring him down?
Yeah, I'm trying to throw the my great sword as I am plunging forward.
So you want to throw the great sword before you plunge forward, or hold it and plunge forward?
Throw the great sword before it lunges forward.
Okay, give me that attack, and then we'll do an athletics and or acrobatics, your choice. You throw it, slices him, and you yank it back to you. As give me an athletics or acrobatics for 12 points. He's going to concentrate and
I have
he
advantage,
just
right?
passes. Go ahead, say it again.
I do have advantage, right?
You're raging, right? Well, does raging would give you advantage, right? Or is it only on melee? I don't know how it works on that.
I think so.
Reckless. I guess I'm not too familiar with barbarians, but I remember the reckless thing.
True, they don't have that up
Strength.
though.
While you're raging, you do get advantage on strength and athletics check, not
Nice.
acrobatics. Strength and
But
athletics.
athletics. Yeah, Big G just kicks ass and just the Olympics are here. 2028, here you come. As the great sword comes right back to you, and you're still midair because you rolled so goddamn well. Do you attack again midair, or do you go to
Yeah,
land? They did make their
attack.
save, so they're still levitating.
Since I'm like kind of up on top of him, can I use reckless?
Sure.
Sure. Okay.
You're looking good doing it. Flashing right through for a very positive vibe.
Ooh.
Solid damage.
Whoa.
Falls on the floor.
Ooh.
Dead. As you land, give me a dexterity saving throw to see if you land fine safely. This is just for flavor. Just see how cool you do it. The death of the kobold disguises your shifting of landing, but you land. Two kobold that you hate. Slayed.
Yeah.
You turn around and see your allies jumped. In
How
some
much
perspective.
movements do I still have?
Well, you jumped and you only walked 10 feet, so I'll give you 20.
Okay, I will walk 20 towards my raccoon friend.
A non-bloodied Big G approaches you. Dun-dun. We did it. You can move yourself. Phineas.
With that, everything that's going on, I'm in the gate, so it's pretty clear that even though I'm not necessarily with them, the people I'm with are attacking the kobolds. So I'm just going to kind of position myself where I am, just arms wide and shoulders straight forward. I'm going to say, I said we'll talk this through, and I'm going to go ahead and shoot my lightning launcher at the kobold behind Wrath here.
Rascal. Okay.
The infiltrator. Here we go. How do I do the attack with this?
We're gonna pre-roll it because I didn't add it in, but now I know. I can do a D. Oh wait, hold on. It might be a save. No, it's a simple range
Yeah,
weapon.
uh,
More range of 90 feet, 300, and it deals 96 lane damage on a hit. So it'd be
It's a
your
D20.
D20 plus your proficiency plus your Dex mod. So that is Dex 2 plus your proficiency, which is right now something.
That's a 14 to hit.
14 fires. And you fire just too high. Missing.
What I'm going to go ahead and with that failing, I'm going to even take the attack of opportunity and charge this fellow here.
Door is still
and
closed
attack him.
between the two of you guys. You could,
Okay.
yeah, it's actually still closed. Yeah, no one opened the door. They climbed out. Well, it got blasted through from the top because of this ballista, and then the kobolds climbed through there, and then these ones have been on this side because your teammates jumped.
Well, then I will, from what I'm able to do at this point, I will take my second attack action and attack this fellow with my
Got
mace. And that would be
The mace comes in.
that's
Oh
an attack.
no.
So a nat 1 works this way in my world. If it's melee and an
I'm
ally's next to you, they get hit.
Great.
If yeah, pretty much hit yourself because you're by yourself. If it was ranged, you'd hit Sigard.
All right. Let me
Or
go
Reno.
ahead and roll damage.
How do you fumble this and hurt yourself? What does it look like to your allies?
So basically, as I'm shooting off this Iron Man Mega Pulse, I go and I grab my mace from my waist at the same time, and I'm swinging it down. And as I'm swinging it down, the pulse, the lightning pulse, just happens to hits the handle of the mace as I'm swinging down at the same time, and I just electrocute myself.
Nice. Give me the damage.
How much? What do you want me to roll for damage on that?
It's just a flat damage against you. It's not crit against you.
Oh, okie dokie. That's going to be a 1d6. Do you want me to add the additional lightning damage?
Yep. Anything that you would have dealt to someone else would dealt to yourself.
Hmm.
You know that in term, all your intentions are your own.
It's 11 points of damage to myself.
You see Phineas do a great job of hurting no one but himself and doing some really cool flashy flare electric stuff. Anything else, Phineas?
That is my action. I don't think I can open this gate with a bonus action, so probably nothing.
You got it. You hold position in the middle of it all. Reno. 911. 911. What's your emergency?
That's what I say as I cast hideous laughter.
Wait, was that your laugh, Ezra? Is that the recorded laugh? Is that yours?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
What, my laugh?
Yeah, the
No, the
Oh yeah, in the game, yeah, it has audio logs, OGGs to go with everything too. Yeah, so I don't hear
you can
those
do it
things
again if
because
you want.
but yeah, you guys
Oh.
do get those benefits. So with it, as you hear the laughter break out, it's a wisdom save, and it's who are you targeting? Is it everyone or some?
I
Oh,
think
a
I only
creature. Which creature?
can target one. Yeah, so I'll target the one. Actually, I'll take a look if Rascal's pretty injured.
He's your boy.
Um,
He's not super. He's not injured. He's hardly injured. He's injured, but not
Oh, okay.
hardly a concern.
Okay.
He looks fine with
And
Big
then
G and Big G having two bloody dead pulps behind it. Like Big G, Rascal's safer with Big G than they are with you. I'm gonna put it that way, honestly.
honestly,
of the two in front of me,
Mhm.
which one seems the most injured, if at all?
Any, mini, miny, mo, the top one. He's the only one you've seen
Okay.
get hit.
Okay, then I'll cast it on the other one.
Okay. He stares
Oh.
at you. And snarls. Not funny.
I'll work on my jokes, and I'll write that one in my book as ones that don't work.
You got it. You hold your position, or do you want to
911.
do anything else?
Yeah, I'll back up just a little bit.
You got
I'll back as I casted it and I saw it fail. I'm assuming this is a cliff right here, so I'll just
Yeah.
back up a little bit so that way he can't really see me anymore. As I kind
In
of
your
just
own
squat
shame.
down and jot this in my notes. Yeah,
You got it.
I'll
You
just
just
not.
bust out the book. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. As you squat down and kind of not disappear, but become harder to see. All the kobolds are doing their stuff. They're going to ignore Big G because right now they're fascinated by Rascal. At least down south. Get Rascal with 1. For a 17, doing 5. Then they're going to follow up because they can't do those things. Rascal's pretty hefty in the sense of HP, considering your guys' entire team. Take an additional 4 damage out on 22. And then this kobold is going to do his thing. And they ain't even going to worry about nothing because they're rolling so high, doing barely anything. For max, yeah, 7 points of damage to Rascal. That's 14, 16, something like that right now. And then 1 more attack. Coming in. That is 100% hits for a total give or take damage amount of, I think it was a total just under 20, to be honest. I did all the math individually, but see 10. That's a 10, 14,
you should have attacked
19.
me.
Yeah, pretty good guess. What happened?
Yeah.
They should have attacked me. You know, could have been 10.
Yeah, did I delete you? Did you disappear? What happened to you? Where are you? Oh, you moved. Gotcha.
Oh, I
Or
think
maybe
He moved
I think
under
I did that on
Rascal.
accident, but I was like, where'd you go? This one is going to attack Phineas because he started that way and he's been pretty happy about it. And Phineas just tried to blast everybody and he didn't like that his buddies were in danger.
That definitely hit.
He grabs it in a different way with 2 hands as he just shoves it in your direction for 9 points of damage and shanks you. And then he holds it again with 2 hands and comes at you 1 more time. That's going to hit on a 17. And he going to get you. As he shanks again with aggression and does almost another max for 8 points of damage. As you see Phineas just getting shish kebabbed. As this one before Sigurd is going to have his fair share of dual thrusting stabbing at advantage.
Phineas is bloodied.
Tink! Both of them just bouncing off of Sigurd's armor as you do Wrath of Steel. It's only on 1. Which one did you want to cast it on?
Which one was the one that hit me?
Neither.
Oh, what? Oh, I thought I was
It says
getting hit.
when a creature within 5 feet, you can see. Oh, it didn't hit you. Yeah, nothing hit you. It was 16 on the
Oh,
second.
okay, my bad.
My bad. Yep.
I thought that counted as a, yeah.
It's only if you
It
actually
has
get
to
hit.
do damage.
Yeah. Yep.
It says the definer is to when you roll an attack or when you hit a creature.
Say that again. For what?
The definer in most spells is when you for booming blade or.
Oh yeah, but for Wrath of Storm is when an attack hits you is the verbiage, and he didn't get hit, so he couldn't use it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
My bad.
Oh, good. Anything else? Sorry, just with that, it is now you, Sigurd.
Okay. I'm gonna use my bonus action to healing word Phineas. I was hoping to upcast it, but it didn't give me that as an option.
Can you upcast Healing Word? Yeah.
You can upcast.
So I'm not sure why it's not showing up on yours, so I'll definitely have to figure out that whole discard, rediscard, or whatever thing. But you can upcast it and then just roll the additional die.
Yeah, it'll be a 2d4 instead of 1d4.
What's the spellcasting ability modifier? Where do you see that?
That should be on the same page as that if you were using the sheet, but I have to open your character.
Oh, I see it. I see it. Cleric spellcasting. Okay.
Yeah, that's 5. So 2d. So yeah, perfect. Nice. Maximum healing.
Nice.
At 13 points. Anything else, Sigurd?
Yeah. Give me 1 sec.
Nice.
While we're waiting, I've always wondered this, but what's the white line in the initiative order?
That's the end of the round.
Okay,
So since you
gotcha.
guys
Thank
don't re-roll, it'll start at the Kobold, then Emergo, then Rascal, etc. But that's the end round marker. Sigurd,
Gotcha.
let me make this a very simple lesson for you. You used Inflict Wounds, a beautiful spell. You literally made the AC.
Okay.
Perspective. 1 for 1, you're 100%. But if your average was 15, imagine if everything is higher than an average 15 AC.
Yeah, I feel
That's all
you.
I'm saying. When it matters most, it's great right now. They're tiny little kobolds. You're not going to die from this. But when you want to use it on a big bad, it always fails. Like, it's just a thing. But go for it. What's the damage? Beautiful.
Oh my god.
Cast Inflict Wounds. It's just like...
Nice.
I reach out and give him a handshake and
I just
squeeze just a little hard.
screams out in pain. It's still standing, but hurt.
But hurt.
It's butt hurt in every way.
That's the end of me.
You got it.
Hideous laughter works. Just kidding.
With that, the guards. We have you surrounded. Give up, kobolds. Give up. We will end the session there and see whether or not we start with peace or continue with conflict and go from there. How do you guys feel? Warming up to each other?
Yeah.
I think so.
I like what I'm seeing.
I think
Yeah.
I might have had a bit of a rocky start with my personal character, but I think we, as soon as shit hit the fan, we kind of all went together.
Indeed. It is very fun. You guys are doing great. I didn't see too many things that weren't working, but if there, I mean, outside of the spiritual weapon, things that I have to build myself. But if there's anything you guys were messing with during the session that wasn't functioning, please let me know. The best time to fix it and get ahead of it is to do it right away, and what have you.
My
But I hope
whole
you guys had a
character sheet.
blast. Yeah, we're working on that one. I hope you guys had a blast, and we will pick this up next week. We will see, I guess the fate of the kobolds at the end of the day. I thought you were going to choose them, but turns out not today.
I thought we were.
I
kobold-
totally.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, sorry. I was just saying. I thought we were going to choose the kobolds as well.
No one informed the barbarian
That's true.
what's going on.
I
And
was
so-
leading to.
It worked perfectly though. Like that's the way this is supposed to work because you didn't use meta information, and that was great.
Yep, it's flavored. I think it's interesting. We're going to see. I guess it's your guys' dialogue, and that's. I mean, I'm interested. I am curious.
I do have to say though, the trigger was the spell casting, or else he wouldn't have attacked.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, had they got both of them, it might have gone past you guys, but they missed the second one. So, errors, mistakes, what have you. Kobolds failed. They were trying to be sneaky though. Otherwise, guys, I hope you had a blast. We will meet up again, and we'll just have more and more fun. Also, obviously, guys, you guys don't have a name. You guys haven't established yourselves, but think about those things because that's always fun to see, and it can always change. I think one group has like 7 different titles, and they're on their newest one. But something for fun instead of me always putting at Mondays for you guys in the Discord, etc. I'll just keep updating it to whatever it is we end up on. But putting that out there. Otherwise, have a good night, and until next time.